But what are you? What are you? The Jets? You flexing out of prime time to go and work marginal hours?
2 days in a row. We're gonna start with the same thing.
We're not. We're gonna continue with the additions, including the. I kind of, sort of called Jordan Love a liar yesterday edition.
Oh wow! Oh.
And later he agreed with me. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios.
Whew, that's a late game tonight. 9:30.
Doesn't that just show you how screwed up the NCAA is? What are they doing?
10 o'clock first serve?
Well, now wait a minute.
What are we doing?
All right. By the way, that's Marc Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer, from his undisclosed location. This is what happens when your conference includes teams on the West Coast. Blame the NCAA for everything you want. But USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington being in the conference leads to matchups like this.
No.
Sorry.
Break football. No. Break football away like everybody knows is going to happen, and stop sending kids during the middle of the week to go row out in California for a day and then fly them back and have them spend 3 days. Let's geographize everything. Football is a different animal. Let football do football, and then let's tighten our geography back up. Okay?
You do that with basketball, too?
Sure.
You do it with hockey?
Well, hockey's already kind of crazy. At Houston, in the old days, had to go to Alaska.
Indeed.
Hockey's a different animal because not everybody has hockey.
Okay.
So,
Top 25 volleyball
what we're
matchup
seeing
tonight.
Here,
good game.
What we're seeing here in Askin, Anna, and Devin, and the volleyball crew is ludicrous.
It's ludicrous.
It's dumb.
And Jesse.
Well, no, I'm not worried about Jesse. But
you're not going anywhere. You're going to be in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it starts at 8 o'clock. That's reasonable. Like, we're here grinding in the steel. Hunter Vaughn, or actually, it's not Hunter. It's Riley and I tonight. 10 o'clock. We're out of here at 2 in the morning tonight.
Jesse, it's not reasonable at all.
No. Not even close to being reasonable. They had to leave yesterday. They're going to wait around all day. They're going to get back maybe Friday night. I don't know how their flight situation is.
No, they're at UCLA Saturday night, so they're staying.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, back-to-back.
There you go.
So they get
it's all good.
Weekend in SoCal.
Idiotic. I don't know if I could be any more blunt. It's idiotic that. And then the crew team, they got to fly out there and go row in a couple weeks. Like, what are we doing?
I didn't realize you knew the crew's schedule. That's impressive. God, you're a Badger through and through.
They're opening the Yankees. The Yankees out there in New York on ESPN next year, I saw.
All right. So as much as look, first of all, I like the Pac-12 flavor to the Big Ten as someone who always enjoyed Pac-12 sports and the Pac-10 when I first started following.
Anything about USC's volleyball?
I don't. And
Football,
I'm not,
maybe. Come on, dude.
You didn't let
How's
me
the
finish.
Oregon soccer team? How's their field hockey program?
Their volleyball team is, I think, ranked 11th. Their women's soccer team, they don't even have men's soccer, which I thought was interesting.
USC?
No, you just
Oregon?
asked me Oregon. Try to keep up with your own questions.
USC.
We
play USC.
If I had finished my sentence, you would have heard that I didn't want to leave dead air and not jump in as I was called out on yesterday. So I don't know how to please you, Jason. I'm not sure which direction you want me to go. So hard to please. You're right. So early on in the fall, it was a Friday night. I was writing a story. Was looking for something to watch because there were no Law & Order reruns on that night. And I watched UCLA, Wisconsin women's soccer.
Oh, my God.
my late friend Rob Andringa's daughter is on that soccer team, so I was watching that, and I was like, it's 9 o'clock in Wisconsin, and I'm getting to watch the Badgers play on the West Coast. This is great. My complaint would be that stop rolling your eyes, you jackwagon.
Dude, I'm not saying anything. Just
I'm disappointed that there hasn't been more of the West Coast flavor of the Big Ten for that late night Saturday football game.
You want more of these?
I want the Saturday night football games. I want at least one of the 4 West Coast Big Ten teams to have like a marquee late game on Saturday night involving a Big Ten team. Ugh. It doesn't affect your work schedule.
It actually does a lot of the times. It didn't this particular time, but did you watch that Rutgers USC Friday night 10 p.m. kickoff after the World Series? That was insane. No one was watching that.
I said Saturday. I didn't say anything about Friday nights. But Saturday night, if you get a good matchup, Oregon is the number 1 team in the country. The Badgers are going to have their hands
Ohio
full.
State. Yep, that's a great matchup. Yep, Oregon, Ohio State.
Sure, let's put it on at 10 p.m. Central Time, and then I can stay up till 1 in the morning watching.
It's not better than 11 a.m.
All right, we've gotten off track, and Jesse really, this is day 4 of the week. And he's had this Up North Joe content on the rundown.
Had it ready to go for a while.
Every day like acorns.
I think you guys are going to love this, too. It's taken forever for us to get to it.
All right, well, let's get to this since we're... And as you start to tell the story, I would predict that Tausch will interrupt it, so please go ahead.
So Up North Joe's got a lot of good run on the show this week, especially yesterday.
Works more than you.
I mentioned yesterday that I met him and his wife Sammy at a local establishment here in downtown Madison. They were going to the Forward Madison FC semifinal game on last Saturday. So I was able to meet up with them, grab a beverage, and while we were together, Joe went to the bathroom and came back and said, I found $60 under the sink. What should I do with it? So my gut instinct was give it to the bartender. And like, if someone comes looking for their $60, like that's not a small amount of money. I would say give it to the bartender. But if you give it to the bartender, the wrinkle in this is all the patrons it was very crowded at this time. It was like 5 o'clock Saturday night, very crowded. Pretty much all the people there are going to the game. And my guess is most of the people there are not going to notice they don't have this cash that they dropped in the bathroom under the sink. Joe was alone in the bathroom. There was no one else in the bathroom. So it's like there wasn't anyone he could just say, hey, is this yours? Yes, Tausch.
I wanted to make sure not to interrupt. Was it?
For those of you not watching on video, Tausch raised his hand.
That was very polite.
Was the cash taped under the sink, or was it laying on the urine-soaked floor?
Great question.
Fair question.
It was on the ground.
Urine-soaked.
It was on the ground
sink.
under the sink. On the ground. Very clearly, so it was not intended to be there.
Yeah, if it was taped under the sink, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Taped under the sink.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Go watch some movies. You'll figure it out.
Law and Order would have that covered.
If it's on the urine-soaked floor, well, let me hear what Joe did first.
Joe kept the cash.
Yes. Of course he did.
Because what he was worried about is you give it to and the bartenders at this establishment are very friendly, but if you give it to the bartenders and no one comes back to claim it, because likely no one's going to come claim it because they're all heading over to the game, if someone's going to end up with it, he would rather end up with it than the bartenders, and you can do more. You can pay it forward, or you could whatever. Like there's different things you can do.
Pay it Madison
with
forward.
Pay it Madison forward. Exactly. Yes. Well done.
Thanks.
Rather than just donating the cash with the likelihood that the person will never come looking for it, He thought, I'm going to keep it in this instance. He's not a selfish person, but in this particular case, he didn't know what else to do with it.
Definitely not selfish.
And you can't just look around
He's
and
a
wave
servant.
around. You can't wave the cash around. Actually, coincidentally, Unsportsmanlike was talking about it at the end of their show. You can't just wave the
They
cash
were talking about Joe finding money in the bar?
They were talking, it was actually a Chinese food delivery that wasn't intended for the person it went to. And that, like, you can't just wave it around and be like, whose is that? Everyone else is going to claim it. You might as well keep it. Well, you can't just say, whose $60 is this in a very crowded Saturday night establishment where everybody's like, in big groups buying drinks. Like, everyone's going to say, yeah, that's mine. So,
all right.
I don't know if we did the right thing or not.
All right. I'm sorry. Up North Joe delivers some excellent trivia. I don't see the moral conundrum here. I mean, it's cash. And look, I'm not a cash carrier. I'm a Apple Watch dink guy on the little thingamajig that you swipe your credit card on. I do not carry cash, ever. Sometimes it's a problem at, say, a gymnastics meet, as Tausch has learned, where it's not cash to get in, but it's cash at the concession stand or the opposite. But it is dropped cash. So it's not like if you were the one who lost the $60, like, are you even going to go to the bar to say, hey, did somebody turn in three $20 bills that I dropped in the bathroom? This is even if it's that ABC show, What Would You Do? No one's going to have a problem if they see you on hidden camera finding $60 in an empty bathroom and taking it and pocketing it. Sorry about that. Now, the real question here is, what location of the bathroom would the money have to have been dropped on for you to not pick it up? If it's next to the urinal, if it's in your stall on the floor, like touching the toilet, are you picking this up under all circumstances? Because I got to be honest, if $60 is enough,
that's a night out.
That I don't care if it's in the urinal. I am picking it up. I'm wrapping it in like a hand towel from the dispenser, and I'm going to let it clean it, disinfect it when I get home. But $60 is a lot. I'm picking it out of the urinal. I'm even taking it that far.
You are not going to do
I am.
that.
No way.
No.
I am. $60.
So if there is so if there's $100 within the urine cake, you're going to grab that $100 if it's wet.
Yep.
You're grabbing $100.
I am. Yep.
You're a psychopath.
I'm not.
You're a
$100?
psychopath.
You know how many hangers I have to sell to make $100?
You won't. Oh, I don't even want to go down this road with you. Urine cake infested $100 bill with hundreds of people peeing on it. You're going to go grab it.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I am.
No way.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah,
I know. Am I?
What if it's $10? So $10 you're not, but $100 you're gonna?
$10 I'm not.
$90 is gonna change your life.
How about $25? $25.
Because you're probably gonna get some kind of disease from grabbing it. And what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna put it in a plastic bag and let it dry out, and then you're gonna give it to some swill that doesn't know what the hell's going on, and then they're gonna end up
You
with
can't put it in a plastic
$100.
bag. You're not just carrying around a plastic bag with you. You're gonna it's gotta go in your
using a
pocket.
paper towel thing. I'm taking the paper towel.
You wouldn't feel bad when you went into your local. I'm not even gonna say a partner because I don't want to associate a partner with this. You're gonna go into a local place. Yep. And spend $100 urine cake dollar, and just an unwilling waitress is going to be grabbing it and having to put the little wiping thing through it and all up like this, not realizing that it's been caked by the urine of 100 men? Okay.
Caked by the urine.
All right.
If you had the phrase "caked by the urine of 100 men" on today's show, I don't know how you did it, but you've got your bingo.
I don't fully
I'm going to spray
understand
disinfecting spray on it when I get home. I am definitely doing that. I am. Look, I'm not making this up.
So if it's laying on the floor, I get it. But if it is in the cake where people urinate, you're not doing it. And if you do, I guarantee you Paula would say that is disgusting. Don't you dare do that.
I will go ask her in the break. $100 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Well, Joe, we support you keeping your $60. John on the talk and text line.
You were disgusted by a coach that didn't wash his hands.
I would definitely wash my hands after I did this thoroughly.
And it doesn't matter. You better live in rubber gloves for years if you're going to grab a urine-soaked $100 bill. I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
I wouldn't think.
Neither am I.
I wouldn't think you would take it from under the urinal, let alone in the urinal. That's insanity.
I'm just $100 is a lot of money. It is.
If it's laying on the floor, I agree with you.
But isn't the floor of the bathroom disgusting too? I mean, obviously the urine
not
cake
as disgusting.
Is
but at
more
least
disgusting.
half of it'll be
I
dry.
agree.
The top half will probably be dry. I could live with that.
So you would pick up a $100 bill in the men's bathroom, though.
I think you'd want to ask to see if it was somebody's. You don't want to take it just straight up.
Well, if you're like up north, Joe, you're alone in the bathroom. There's no one else in there.
It's a conundrum there. But, yeah, you grab it. It's laying on the floor. Somebody's going to grab it. I would agree with that assessment. Okay. But I ain't going to put my hand in a urine-soaked urine cake to grab a $100 bill.
How many times have you said the word urine in the last 2 minutes? That's a lot.
I don't know. You'll have to
wake up with
go check the tape.
You and Matt LaFleur waking up with your urine hots and peeing on a $100 bill.
I don't know how to transition here. I'm not going to go to a bathroom. We'll do that with Kohler services later. But don't spend another winter shivering at home with the wind howling through your windows. Take advantage of this deal at Pella. No interest and no payments for 12 months. Keep your home comfortable and save on energy bills thanks to those customizable windows and doors from Pella. And if you do that, you don't have to go and scrounge in a men's urinal for that $100. You can save all that money just by putting in those new windows. Pella can design them to look like they've been a part of your home throughout its history. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on the 30th of November. Paula is no way going to say, great idea, Jason.
I am going to go ask her right now in the commercial break. I will go ask. Okay. You would think that a Packers-centric show during Packers-Bears week, during which one of the hosts suggested that maybe the starting quarterback was a liar, during which a... soaked in the urine of 100 men sounds like a punishment from the Old Testament, says Wooly. In which Xavier McKinney has beef with one of the Bears players.
It's a great quote.
Lots of places we could have started this conversation. Instead,
up north, Joe.
Urine-soaked urine cake.
Let me tell you something.
He delivers the goods.
I'm not 100% sure because you're putting the Hall of Fame together. Up North Joe's going to be Rookie of the Year. I don't think anybody.
We don't have those awards. Most improved listener. Comeback listener of the year.
Jim and
Up
Suckville.
North Joe. Just for what Up North Joe did the last 3 weeks, I think he's getting Roy. He's going to Roy it.
All right. If you'd like to text in on our urine conundrum, you can do that, and we will highlight some of the text. We are not taking calls on this. We're not spending our show talking about a pee-soaked $100 bill. I am standing by my statement, however.
Jesse, is Paula going to say, go grab that hundo and get all that? Is Paula going to agree with Jason's
This is
assessment?
the same family selling wire hangers on Facebook Marketplace, so I'm not going to rule it out.
What do you think? What if Jason put that and he itemized it properly on Facebook Marketplace, and he said $100 urine-soaked, urine-caked $100 bill. How much would someone bid to get it?
$90.
$40? I don't know what the depreciation is on that, but it can't be good.
I have an inappropriate story that I'll have to mull whether to tell at some point about my youth, but that's not now. We are going to talk football on this program, not urine soaked by the urine of 100 men. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Right now, they'd be a toss-up with the herd.
People just don't know how funny mean you are.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's mean, but it's funny, and the funny trumps the mean, and so you laugh.
But there might be some truth to that.
Of course there's some truth to
body.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Jordan Love used the team's bye week to heal up his knee and groin injuries. The Packers quarterback was a full participant during Wednesday's workout session. Head coach Matt LaFleur is hopeful that a full week of practice will be beneficial for Love going into Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears.
It'll be good to just get him some practice under his belt where he's fully healthy. That's the other thing, going back to last game, he didn't practice the full week. I'm just confident that a full week's worth of practice and then stacking those days will definitely be beneficial for him.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Everybody's buzzing about Quick Trip's possibly pilfered potatoes. We have them priced so low, some say they're illegal. Swipe potato fries? Potatoes ill-gotten? Stash browns? Come on, these are not hot potatoes. But it is a quick hot savings. You might say it's a steal. No, don't say that. 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. 5 pounds of potatoes under $1? What a heist. A perfect score for those large meal gatherings. Quick Trip. We got your taters covered.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
15 years of marriage counts for something. I didn't even finish telling the story. Oh, you grab it. You grab it.
Would she?
Rinse it off.
Would
she
Paula
would
do
not.
We're
She
talking
would
about
not.
cash for those just joining us.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it.
What don't
so
you like
she wants
about
you
it?
to do it, but she won't do it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Interesting. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't.
You've made that clear. And then I asked
Jesse, do you like that?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
You got to be a team.
Not one bit.
You got to be a team.
Yeah, if you're a team,
aligned.
you're a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also. So then I said, "Well, would you then?" She's like, "You would totally grab it. You would wash it off in the sink. You'd wrap it in paper towel, and then when you got home, you'd wipe it down with a Clorox wipe." And then I said, "Okay." And then after I did all that, would you go take it and spend it at a store? She said, "No, I'd want you to deposit it." So she doesn't. So again, she's fully supportive of me reaching into the urinal. She wants the $100. Does not want to get her hands dirty, literally.
No. Let's move on.
Yes. You wanted me to ask, and I did as you
I'm glad
told.
we got the answer. I'm just not happy with the answer.
I'm sorry.
It is.
I don't like what I'm hearing.
It is not a good answer at all.
All right. I'm guessing that I'll have to check the YouTube comments, see how I'm faring in there. But speaking of asking things that you were told to ask, I was told to ask Paula this, so I did. I was told by Tausch to ask. Do you remember the question you wanted me to ask? This is a memory
It was
test.
either red zone. I think it was red zone related, and I also wanted to know about the effects of not being able to go under center as much as I think Matt LaFleur wants.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I wanted you to hit on.
So Tom Silverstein of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel hit on the under center part before I got to that. But I did get to the red zone question, and it turned out to be, I thought, pretty interesting. Here is the question and answer from myself and from the head coach.
You guys, I think you're third in the league in total offense. You're top 10 in scoring, and yet your red zone numbers are not very good. Does that tell you that if you guys can get that resolved, you could be in a really good spot offensively?
Yeah, yes, you would think so. I think there's a lot that kind of goes into that, especially when you look at some of the red zone numbers. Certainly we've had some critical mistakes, whether it's turnovers or whatever it may be in the red area that's really hurt us. But I also think there's been a couple instances, and this marks you down in your red area where you finish in the red area and maybe you're in victory formation. I know that's happened a handful of times this year. So, you always try to dissect the things you're doing well and what you need to improve upon. And I think this last week definitely gave us a good opportunity to do that. And just some of the miss-ops we've had, whether it's we've had a couple drops down there that's really hurt us. So you just try to correct that stuff, and you would think that if you get that corrected, then you're going to score more points and you're going to be a heck of a lot better than what we are.
Meh. That
You
did
said
not
that
go
was
in.
a good answer?
No.
Okay.
That was disappointing.
I was wondering.
Like, I thought I
That was
set
not a
him up,
great answer.
too, right? Like, I could have said, again, I'm not always succinct. I could have said, Matt, you guys are pretty good statistically, but your red zone offense sucks. Why? Right? I could have said that.
Yeah.
But I tried to spin it positively of, hey, you get that going, you really got something going on offense if you're already doing these other things, right?
You'll be just handful of urine hundreds in your hands if you get that. I don't love that answer. I don't love that answer from a couple. You always want to be self-aware and you want to promote, but the kneeling on the ball.
We've had a couple of kneel downs in the red zone.
I like the confidence.
Hey, come on, bro. Like, Come on, bro. Like that was.
It seems like something
that
Barry
immediately.
Alvarez would say.
In all honesty, I heard that and I kind of tuned out. Like, all right, your red zone hasn't been great, and that's okay. Like, you're not going to be awesome at everything. You have to grow, and that's where you can say, well, you made some mistakes and your penalties, and the blank that needs to get cleaned up, that gets highlighted in the red zone. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't love that answer. That does not instill a ton of confidence in me, and I'm not 100% sure what I was supposed to get out of that, but whatever it was, I wish I could rescind me asking you to ask him that question because I didn't get anything out of it.
So I've got good news for you. I didn't take that and
You followed up?
Well, sort of. In a manner of speaking, I did. I was not going to follow up to that word salad. Like, there was the game where Chris Brooks avoids scoring the touchdown, right? To keep the clock running. That's fair. That did occur. But you're 29th in red zone efficiency. It's not just because of kneel downs. And that was the first option he gave. Then he mentioned the penalties and a couple of drops, et cetera, et cetera. But I followed up with someone else instead, seeking a better answer because, as I tell you all the time, it's about the answer, not the question. And while there was nothing wrong with that question, answer, not super helpful. You will hear who I followed up with.
Question wasn't that good. In fairness, the question wasn't that good either, though. If you're being honest with yours, it wasn't a great question.
You don't have to do that, Tausch.
You're just mad at me because I'm plucking pea-stained $100 bills out of the urinal.
But you didn't get the answer. That doesn't mean that your next question's not going to be good and get a good answer. You didn't get... You always say, I'm going to use your own words against you, it isn't about the question. It's about the answer, and you just got a word salad. That's what you're trying to avoid. So why am I going to sit here and tell you, great question, word salad? That's the same thing LaFleur just did. You just did, well, he knelt down. We had a couple kneel-down questions. That's what you just did.
It's not true. Sometimes crappy questions get good answers. Sometimes good questions get lame answers, and it doesn't change the fact that you didn't achieve your goal.
It's not the question's fault. Okay. I just want to make sure.
I think he asked a different question we're going to get after him more for later, but
no doubt. And it got a good answer, and a correction later on as well. All right, I want to get to that coming up. I do say that all the time, that it's not about the question, it's about the answer. I also say all the time, make one call, that's all, if you've been injured in an accident. And that, of course, call goes to Gruber Offices. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. David and his team, they've got the best lawyers, they've got the best success rate, they've got everything you're looking for if you ever need to make that call, and hopefully you don't. You can also go to the website to find out more about their history, about all the great things they've done for their clients and in the community, all the connections they have to your favorite sports teams and your favorite charitable organizations. Gruber-law.com is the website. One call, that's all, 414-276-6666. We will hear that follow-up question to someone other than Matt LaFleur next. You can take your headphones off now. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh, she's doing
Her parents? Oh boy, here we go.
Watch out.
But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score, too. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at payspig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different?
A very unique factor I think that we have at our group is that every single surgeon here is fellowship trained, meaning everyone has gone through specialty training in their specific area of focus. So if you come to get your knee replaced or if you come to see me and get your shoulder done, every single person that you come and see has specific advanced training in that field.
You mentioned that your specialty is shoulders. Shoulder issues can be complicated. How do you approach your patients?
Shoulder injuries are incredibly common with either young athletes or especially as people age, people develop shoulder issues, whether it's rotator cuff issues, arthritis. So we can get a sense of it ahead of time based on what their exam is like, what their MRI is like, what they're doing in therapy. But you're right, there's a wide breadth of surgeries that luckily we have a vast array of treatments for.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
The big guy needs your help this holiday season, and he's recruiting the Corners of Brookfield for help because the perfect gift is right around the corners. Head to the Corners for all your gifting needs and find something for anyone thanks to their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. Or just wrap up a Corners gift card to create a great, well-rounded gift. Looking for something only Santa can deliver? Drop off letters in a special North Pole mailbox in the Market Square through December 22nd. Make your shopping list and check it twice. Visit the Corners of Brookfield.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Stupid stairs.
Mike, I thought we were going to remodel and put our master bedroom on the first floor. We're getting old, you know.
I know I usually come up with some excuse to avoid home improvements, but I guess that would make sense. We do it for our own customers all the time, so maybe we should now too.
Whether you're making your empty nest more accessible or creating the house of your dreams, call Professional Construction Inc., your go-to contractor for 20 years.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I love the YouTube comments. Jesse calls them YouTube dwellers. I appreciate their witty repartee that they have going on inside the comment section. We'll get back to that. But I want to get to what Jordan Love said about this because, as we've established, I was dissatisfied with the answer I received from Matt LaFleur on this. And look, I asked it the way I did because I really do think, Tausch, that when you look at where this offense is, because they're not satisfied, right? They've missed a ton of opportunities. Their quarterback has thrown interceptions. Their wide receivers have dropped balls. Their offensive line has committed penalties, even though they've been pretty good in protection. You know, Josh Jacobs, frankly, is the one guy, and he did have the fumbles early on in the year, but, like, he's the one guy where you could say he's been playing at the top of his game pretty much all season long. And there's a lot more out there for this offense. And that's what I was striving for with my question. And when I asked it of Jordan Love, I would say it went a little bit better.
Jordan, just going back to the red zone real quick, I don't know if there's many teams that can be 30th in red zone or 29th and still top 10 in scoring. Does that tell you that there's a lot still out here for you guys, that you're struggling in the red zone and you're still putting up points and you're still scoring?
Yeah, no, I think like you said, there's definitely a lot still out there for this offense and some things that we can clean up and be better at. But like I said before, I think that's something that we've done a really good job at so far in the season, is just generating those explosive plays and those big plays that do lead to points. So obviously it's one of those things I talk about consistency is we put some good drives together, but we just got to go finish when we get down there to the red zone. But I have no doubt that we'll be able to put up points. And like I said, we got too many good playmakers on this team and too many guys that once they get the ball in their hands, they can do some good things. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think it's something that we just got to be great at, focus on. And when we get in Fridays into practice, when we get the red zone periods, just being great and being so dialed in that we can transition that over to Sundays.
I don't think we're going to have any problem scoring points. We got too many playmakers.
Oh, snap.
That is a fellow who is very, very, very confident in what this offense can be if they get their act together. Wouldn't you agree?
I would, and I liked his answer. He acknowledged there's an issue. He is not putting it on anything else. And, players, coaches, I think you always want to kind of take a look from a positive standpoint on what's been going on if you're having some success, and obviously this group has. And you still always want to have a little something that you can work on to get better, to show that there's improvement, that you can grow into being even better than what you are. This team obviously has things that they need to grow from. The penalties, the mistakes, the red zone inefficiency. Those are three things that they've struggled with. And with all that said, you're still talking about a really highly ranked offense that's putting up a ton of points and is winning a bunch of games. So what are we going to do when we actually get our blank together? Well, that's how I would look at it.
It's what I was going for, exactly.
So it's now it's one thing to say, it's another to do. Where it's easy to say all this, well, we'll clean this up.
Sure.
And to be quite honest, I think my biggest concern is that they haven't cleaned it up. The last time we saw this team play, which, again, it's been a while, Detroit, Slop City, USA. Mm-hmm. Way too much slop. And even though all of that slop, you still had double the yardage that the so-called juggernaut Detroit Lions offense had. So that's why I said what I said this week is, yeah, Detroit, give them credit. They're a good football team. This team, when it is maxed out and is actually firing on all cylinders, can beat anybody. Mm-hmm. And when they're not, they can't lose to everybody. We've seen it. They've given stuff away, and they still have beaten teams. That's a good place to be, middle of the season. Not a good place to be in January, because sloppy teams don't win championships. Teams that don't take advantage of opportunities don't win championships. This team's got to grow up. And growing up means stop pre-snap penalties, stop turning the football over, especially in scenarios where you don't need to be super aggressive. And if you do that, you're going to be right where you want to be, positioned to go chase a chip. Now go do it. Talking is for you-know-what. Go out and get it done.
I want to get to me calling Jordan a liar, or sort of calling him a liar. I want to get to what Matt LaFleur had to say about how much it's going to mean for Jordan Love to be healthy. He was a full participant in practice yesterday. He's still listed on the injury report, but the fact that he was a full participant, the fact that they're going to get him all the number one reps, I think that's really interesting and something that we spent some time on. We also, apparently, and I feel like I watched the games pretty closely and then rewatched them, But there's been a shift in the offense, and we did some false advertising yesterday on our show based on what Matt LaFleur said to us yesterday. In fact, it was so interesting to me that I followed up on it about the evolution of the offense. So we want to get to all those things coming up. But first, Tausch needs to tell us about what Fortrea has going on. That 64-night stay. I mean, that's a long time. That's a long time, but they compensate you well if you do it.
And if you're like Jason and you're chasing $100 urine-caked dollars, you definitely need to take a look at what Fortrea's got. They got a lot more cash, and it's not urine-infested. Right now, Jason already mentioned the Big Boy study. I'm going to tell you about a couple of different ones in this. Big time. 2 separate stays, not 164 at a time. 2 separate stays totaling 65 nights with 6 outpatient visits, $27,463 for your time and part. 27. Jason, that's a lot of bathroom breaks you don't have to take.
It's a lot of to be taking money out of the urinal then, baby.
No, you would not. You refer a friend, you get another $400 per qualified referral. Another study, healthy adults, ages 18 to 60, BMI of 18 to 32, less stays. 1 stay of 14 nights with 11 follow-ups, $13,006 in your pocket. Head over to FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortrea, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
I do want to read some of these comments in the YouTube section. Starting with Joe, who says, so that's where my $60 went. I don't know if it's the Joe or not, but that's pretty funny. We'll get to a few more of those, and we'll get to more of what Jordan Love had to say yesterday as the Packers get ready for the dysfunctional Chicago Bears. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I'm comfortable in saying this. This was the biggest waste of a season in Wisconsin sports history. This is worse than Ray Rowe.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But without Giannis, I have a hard time saying that.
Well, then give me a comparable. What was worse? Give me a worse season.
Chewy, that's easy. That's so easy.
What?
2011 Packers.
Mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Are you experiencing joint pain that is keeping you from living the life that you want to live? Especially right now as we're approaching the holiday season, you don't want to be slowed down by that joint pain, whether it be your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. You got to be like me and go visit QC Kinetics. When I went to QC Kinetics, I had my back that was acting up, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to go get this seen by a true medical professional, and QC Kinetics blew me away from the experience start to finish. Platelets, plasma, tissue regeneration, things that I had only heard in theory, but now can see with my own 2 eyes on how QC Kinetics can help people get their life back. From when you arrive, the entire process is personal, the diagnosis is comprehensive, and they meet you exactly where you're at in whatever pain you're feeling. QC Kinetics, don't hesitate and get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. Passload's fuel system makes their cordless nailers the lightest weight in the market, providing longer run times between charges and portability on the job site without hoses or compressors. Start working more efficiently and pick one up today. Save big on Passload nailers and fasteners now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
All right, Tausch, so we talked about this literally yesterday about the under center stuff and the importance of the play action game. And apparently, we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Okay.
Which I am 1,000% guilty of this, and apparently this is the difference between coaches and how they watch film and their level of knowledge and mine. I thought it was still important. And Matt LaFleur basically told us yesterday, starting with Tom Silverstein's questions, that it's not that important and that they're not that much of a play-action team anymore. That it's more about alignments and motions and chips, and it's not as about the straightforward play-action game. In fact, when Tom Silverstein asked him about play-action being under center, he basically said, well, how do you define play-action? Because you might not define it the same way as we do. And Tom Silverstein responded the same way I would have, which is, well, how do you define it? Because that's what matters. And he went on to explain that basically it's not that critical of a piece of what they do offensively anymore, which got my antenna up. So I asked this follow-up.
When you got here, we all kind of learned how one of the best things about your system was the way the runs and the play actions were married up, so opposing defenses didn't know what you were doing until the quarterback hit his third or fourth step. So how does that evolution, what causes that evolution?
I would say adapting to the game. Just this is a trendy league, and you see other things that people are having some success with, and then you start implementing it, and then all of a sudden you're getting some big chunk plays off of it. I'd say that's probably the primary, and then also personnel definitely plays a factor into how you adapt and evolve over time.
So I don't understand this because I feel like play action is one of the best things you can do because it causes defenders to not know what they're defending. And it causes hesitation to, if I'm a linebacker, I need to make sure that the quarterback still has the football before I rush. Or make sure the running back has the ball before I go try to tackle him as he approaches the line of scrimmage. But Matt LaFleur basically told us yesterday that it's not that important anymore. And I am befuddled by this.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
We shall see. And, the trendy stuff and the jet sweeps and the misdirection and all that stuff, that's been a staple of what he's done. But I can go look at what they did with Malik Willis as quarterback, and I can tell you they ran play action, and they ran stuff. So the idea that it fits into what your personnel is, totally agree. But if you think that play action and deceiving people and trying to sell things isn't important in offense, I just don't agree. I would vehemently disagree. Now, Matt LaFleur knows a heck of a lot about offense.
Yeah.
And I do think he's staying up on different trends and understanding that defensive line, they're not overly worried. It's become a get to the quarterback, and if you can tackle the running back on the way, they're not a lot of two-gapping and holding spots. So that is one thing, and Balaga talked a lot about this yesterday. Used to be sell the run. Make sure your pads are down, your hat's down, so that those linebackers feel and hear run so they come up. Defenders are also saying, well, if they're going to get a 5 or 6 yard run, I don't know if you're going to be patient enough to continue to do that. We're going to play more pass. That's that trend, and that I think is what Matt's talking about. But if you're looking at it and saying, is play action not important? Oh, then don't run bootlegs and don't do it. I understand you have your crux of what you're doing, but I would bet you money on Sunday you're going to see some play action and you're going to see some success with it. And you also are factoring in Jordan Love hasn't been healthy. So are you going to do all that when you have a guy with a busted up knee and a yanked groin? The odds are you're not. So, yes. Does he all of a sudden not believe in the marrying the run and pass, which is what he was hired on?
That's what I was wondering.
And Jason, the answer is no. He still believes in that tenet, but you do have to be willing to adjust. And if people are going to blitz and come after you and have a bunch where you're going to have to not really even be able to sell the fake because you have mugged up linebackers and you're going to have to abort the play action or the run part of the play action, then yes, then it isn't as effective. Okay. But it's about figuring out what that defense is doing and then being able to set yourself up by dictating what they can do. And you do that by being really good in the run game. So while Matt, I'm not going to dare say that I know more about this offense than Matt LaFleur because I don't.
Of course not.
But what I do know is football, and I understand what linebackers and what defensive linemen, their goals. And I know if somebody's running the ball down their throat, they're not going to just continue to scream up the field. And when they don't do that, that's when you start hitting them with play actions and bootlegs. And by the way, I still feel like I see a lot of bootlegs, which is a form of play action, to Tucker Kraft out in the flat, to Romeo Doubs on an over route. So while it might not be the staple that it was, to poo-poo it and say it's not as important or depending on what you view as play action, it still is about deceiving those linebackers and safeties and trying to slow down pass rushers. That is, in essence, what you're trying to get done. And if you want to say it's not a typical play-action pass, it's your offense. You can say what you want.
Right.
And you can implement it. But the basic principles of football, they're never going to change. It's just about how you're going to adjust and adapt and execute.
And if you're not going to run play action, that's fine. But if you are going to run it, Tausch is going to say, pour me in, coach, because I still believe in its value.
Indeed, from a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy bloody, salt the rim of a Tito Rita, or take home the win with a Tito's and whatever your heart desires. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey as long as you make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
How important is it that Jordan Love is close to 100% healthy? We will tackle that, and we'll get a little anecdote of maybe a little amnesia that he suffered during the bye week. I'll explain that when we kick off the 10 o'clock hour, and we'll do it in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the weekend is here. Are you ready to make some money betting the games? We had another great weekend last week, 4-2 with our football selection Saturday, and another 4-1 on Sunday, 9-3 over the weekend, and we are ready to roll into the holiday season. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today if you're betting on the games. $99 this weekend to make money betting on football. That's $99 to make money betting the games. They're emailed to you on your personal portal at FatJackSports.com.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at Bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Hey, sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com/MVP to book today.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And look, this is what we just talked about to end the 9 o'clock hour about the play action game. I think we are a humble show. And if we're wrong or we don't understand something, we either ask questions to try and understand it better, or we admit, hey, we had this wrong. Now, I'm with Tausch. I do not believe that
I'm not admitting anything. By the way, on this, nothing. Just for the record.
Wrong of me to pull urine out of a... Never mind.
It can be disguised different ways, but all I'm saying is play action pass and marrying up with the run game is an important piece to offenses, and especially this offensive group.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Right, I agree. And look, he can redefine it all he wants.
Yeah,
but
and it's his right to do that. It's his offense.
Right, but let's not pretend that it's not at least somewhat important. That's all I'm saying. So I appreciate him explaining it further.
And by the way, I think he is. I don't think he's saying it's not. I think the old standard sprint. You know, the quarter Peyton Manning sprinting to his point to try to get Edgerrin James or Joseph Adaya football and stumbling over himself because it had to be so hard to get to it. That maybe doesn't look exactly like that, but it is doing that. And you just see the drills that they still do. Remember Jordan when he was coming back from his groin? He's the handoff boot, and then they flip him the ball, and he catches it and he throws it out.
Right,
guys, that's play action. So I get it. The RPO stuff, all of that is done to deceive and try and slow down pass rush and to try and get linebackers to suck up so that when you see these monster gaping holes for Romeo to catch the ball over the middle, for Jaden Reed or for Tucker, that's where that comes from. And that is an awesome weapon. But you have to be able to run the football. As Blue and I were talking about yesterday, nobody buys anything if you don't have a running back that people have a little bit of fear about.
Right. And they have
by the
one
way,
of those.
Goody went and paid top dollar to bring somebody in so that you can utilize that.
No
and
doubt.
maybe he's just saying this too in the fact that Jordan has not been healthy enough to do it. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I swear earlier this season we had this same discussion about how important it is to have a quarterback under center from Matt LaFleur. So I'm all for adapting. I don't want you to sit and say, like we did back in the early 2000s, we're going to run power. I don't care if you bring 11 guys down in the box. Well, Coach, that's kind of dumb. I mean, we got Javon Walker one-on-one with nobody, and he's going to smoke the dude. Let's throw a slant, and he can go 60 yards rather than us trying to bury our head against a 10-man front. It's all about evolution and different concepts that people are running. And if your coach isn't looking for those new trends, you're going to be the Chicago Bears.
Right.
You're going to be looking for new coordinators. Oh, foundations are great. Have them. Have your players buy in, and then have some adjustments off of them. It's like Del Griffith. Hey, it's great to have a story, but make sure there's a finish and a point. It makes it more interesting for the viewer, and it makes it more fun for your fans if you can actually execute an offense. And I don't care if that means 25 dropbacks, 15 RPOs, and this. Hey, just get us results, and then we'll figure out all the other stuff as a fan, what we're excited about. How's that?
Sounds great, Pumpkin. So, speaking of Jordan Love being healthier, during our Q&A session with him, at one point he says, I've been practicing for a while, I've been moving around. So it's not that big of a deal. No, Jordan, that's not true. That would be inaccurate. Now, I will tell you how this story ends, which I actually really enjoyed after the fact. But in real time, as we're all surrounding him at his locker, was this the best choice of phrase? Maybe not. Maybe not. And the look that he has on his face, which you won't be able to see here, though, had me for a second thinking, okay, that was not the way I wanted to go, but I'm going to save it here. Here is me asking Jordan about the value of being healthy and being able to practice because what he had said earlier was inaccurate. Here it is.
Hey, Jordan, I'm not calling you a liar about the practice thing, but you didn't practice at all the Wednesday before the Lions, and Matt told us you only did individually on Thursday. As someone who believes in the value of practice, I'm guessing that you feel like that affects what you're able to do on Sunday. No?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, anytime you miss a day, aren't able to practice, that is obviously not ideal, like I've talked about before. But it's one of those things, control what you control. You got to go out there, get those mental reps, be great in the film room throughout the week. But yeah, like I said, being out there 100% feeling good is what I like to keep it throughout the rest of the season.
So I have a follow-up later, and he's really good about the value of getting those reps in practice. And they had him take all the number one reps yesterday. He's going to do it the rest of the week. But here's the little Paul Harvey, and now you know the rest of the story. So we get done with the group. And look, I was very confident in the accuracy of my information because Matt LaFleur told us publicly, didn't practice Wednesday, only did individual drills Thursday, practiced on a limited basis Friday, and you know this from having played in the league. The Friday practice is the lightest of the practices, and he still didn't take all his reps in that one going into the Detroit game, right? And he didn't play great in the Detroit game. He would admit that. So we get done with the group, and he gives me the nod, and I come over, and he says, Jason, I got to be honest. I totally forgot that I didn't practice going into the Detroit game. And I said, hey, I didn't. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I wasn't saying you were lying, but your information was not accurate. He's like, yeah, I totally forgot. So the idea that he played
just
the way.
Wait a second. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure for in future conflicts that you and I have. So I can lie as long as I just can say I forgot that didn't happen. It's not a lie. It's
not a lie if you believe it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
so
forgot.
Do you think he's lying that he forgot that he didn't practice going into the Lions game?
Well, I think he probably views that he did practice because he was out there.
But he didn't.
And he didn't go. And you could mince words and say, well, but he was out there on Friday. So
but you didn't.
He did practice. I do not think Jordan's a liar. I thought it was you came right out the guns saying, liar, liar, pants on fire. The bottom line is, the point is, and this is what I like about Jordan and your interaction, I think he understands the whole game. He gets it, and he knows practice is important.
Yes.
And you're not going to be able to be as sharp if you're unable to practice. Now, there's a time in a season where you just have to fight through some things, and as the leader of the team, you got to go out there and gut it out and give us the best you got. We all know that it's not going to be as pretty, but go make plays, and I think for the most part he's been able to do that. But no, he gets that part of it, and I guess now that helps me in the future as far as when I want to tell mistruths. I can do that and just say I forgot.
Well, I'm gonna say, I'm not calling you a liar, but you're full of malarkey. Look, I think we can all agree on this. If he is practicing, they are going to be better offensively. And if we're looking back on the way the season has played out, and we're looking for reasons why you can question his decision-making, you can certainly question his accuracy. Like, we're not going to get to this today, but I spent some time, along with Tom Silverstein, oddly enough, with Dontavion Wicks yesterday. And in fairness to Dontavion Wicks and all this stuff about his drops, like, one of them was like a really low ball that was really hard to come up with because Jordan was inaccurate on that. Two others were thrown behind him that, yes, you want him to still catch them, but it wasn't like they were thrown behind him to protect him. They were thrown behind him because it was an inaccurate throw.
Uh-huh.
Those throws are going to be more accurate if Jordan Love is practicing. That red zone stuff we talked about earlier is going to be better, theoretically, because he's practicing. Like, that stuff matters. You know that matters. You functioned the same way as a player yourself. You were not Chad Clifton, who could roll out of bed and pass protect.
Well, and in fairness, it would have been better suited for Chad to practice. There's a reason you have practice. And some guys, Charles and Cliffy, guys that are just gifted with unbelievable skill sets, they can do a lot of things that some of us can't. And I think Jordan will get to a point where he'll understand how he needs to go about his business. But he's young enough now where that isn't really in play. It behooves him, and it really behooves the team. And quarterback is different. Like, it's just different when Aaron Rodgers is practicing and running the show than if Matt Flynn or Kyle Benkart or whoever is going to be out there. It's just going to be different. So if that's going to be the case, yeah. Doesn't he the blog? Yeah, he's got the
Kurt Benkert.
Anyways, whatever.
I've heard it both ways.
Kurt Benkert. Kyle, is there a Kyle? There's a Kyle. Who's the guy? Kyle
Wallace,
young guy. Oh, I'm thinking of Michael Pratt. Wasn't there a Magoo that switched from quarterback to wideout?
Alex
Am I crazy?
Alex Magoo. Yes.
There was
Alex
a Magoo, too.
Alex Magoo,
okay,
yes.
Yeah. That's right, but I thought his name was Kyle, and I mixed him up with Binky.
Michael Pratt.
The bottom line is you're setting the tone for your offense. And quarterback, it is different. It's really important, if you can, to be out there because it's a substitute teacher type of deal.
You're right.
It just is.
You're right.
When my old English teacher, Mrs. Tausch, used to say, "When the cat's away, the mice will play." That's where that is.
I don't think she's the first one to come up with that. No relation. Tauschek? Her last name was Tauschek?
That's an interesting. We can go through a whole pod, digi only on that. She is one of my all-time favorite teachers. I did a article. I had to do like a big report. And that's why I'm such a Rembrandt fan, because I did mine on it. You had to do it on an artist. Rembrandt was my artist. Dwight Eisenhower was my president. So I know all about Mamie Dowd and Khrushchev and the whole bit because Mary Tauschek made me do those articles or those reports.
But you're crediting her with "when the cat's away, the mice will play"?
She used to always say it, and she would say it in this, like, she was an older gal at the time. She would say it in a way that was kind of like, I'm going to get after you if there's anything that happens. Like that.
I'm going to be
almost that like evil.
Can you reenact
that
it for
evil
us?
twinge? Like there will be retribution if those mice play too much, and the cat's going to come eat you. That was the vibe I got.
And the cat's going to come eat you.
Well, Grouch.
Well, that's a new twist. Yeah. Well, Mary Tauschek, we appreciate the impact you had on Tausch. No relation. And the fact that we're going to do a digi-only podcast on it, but then you still told the story. Speaking of things I'd like you to tell us about how much you enjoy your stops at Quick Trip to get chicken.
Well, we got that, and I hate to tell you, I'm going to report back, still no salmon chowder for the Tauschers, even though potatoes for sale. You already know how much I love Quick Trip. And I talk about it all the time. All the deals that come with every single visit. Always love looking at that fuel discount in my little app. Where can you grab 10 or 15 cents off? There's all kinds of different things you can do. And, again, this 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, that would be really good in a salmon chowder. It's just 99 cents. It's right under $1 to get 5 pounds of taters for your holiday meals and all of those cozy fall recipes. Buy now and perfect your recipe for the big day. And how about Quick Trip's chicken? Perfect teammate for those taters. Roasted whole chickens on sale for $5.99 on Monday. 8-piece tendies, bone-in chicken special for $9.99 on Wednesdays. Or you can grab a hand-breaded jumbo tenders. But wait, there's more, because there is always more deals at Quick Trip. Quickery white bread, 99 cents a loaf. Tortilla shells, just $1.99 package. I tell you this all the time. Get that rotisserie chicken on Monday. And if you don't eat all of it, then shred it up and end up making some of those chicken enchiladas. You got those tortillas for $1.99. It is beautiful. Don's Pizza's 4 for $10. Dessert, get a bucket of Nature's Touch ice cream, just $5.99. Download the Quick Rewards app today. Get all of that fun. You can do that, take-home meals, all the bit. Take care of the payment. Just stop by, pick it all up, or get it brought out to you curbside.
Why do you call them enchiladas?
The sauce?
It's an enchilada.
Potatoes for sale.
Yeah, is that like the book Caps for sale? Is that what that is?
Enchiladas. It's you ever heard it both ways.
We got to get you a bell for the potatoes for sale. Ding, 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 ding.
I used to love that Caps for Sale book. All right, I just want to put a bow on the Jordan Love healthy discussion.
What is your favorite way, since we're talking potatoes, what is your favorite way? You go buy this 5-pound bag of russet potatoes. Au gratin.
Love
what about a
twice
baked?
Baked? Paula makes this. They're called smashed potatoes.
Oh yeah,
and they
rosemary on them,
right? And they kind of caramelize on the edges a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You kidding me?
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Give me the good old-fashioned mashed. Just old-fashioned mashed.
But those are aren't those the smaller taters, though, that you
yes, they are.
You can't do it with the big baked potato, right?
You're right again. Yeah. Potato.
Didn't I go through a whole potato thing the other day where we debated how you have to let this stuff nurture? That's maybe on a different show, but I had a great potato analogy this week.
Oh, saving your best material for another show. Guess we'll have to do a Where's Tausch at some point.
Wildy?
I want to get
Jesse,
to
if you can find that potato analogy, it's russet gold. It is russet gold.
I'm sure it is.
Tim Russert.
Russert Wilson.
Luke Musgrave. All right, I want to put a bow on the Jordan Love healthy conversation because I do think that the fate of this team, and we agree, this is a playoff team. I don't know why they were in the fourth tier from Seth Cauldron, but I believe that
Norbum, Waldron.
But I think they're going 6-2, 5-3 over the last 8. I would be shocked if they don't do that.
Jesse, can we get some T-shirts? You've been Norbed. Like, I'd like to see some T-shirts.
Do you have
Norbed.
art? Could we cartoonify your Uncle Norb?
Yes. You running down the hill with the cart has to be on the front of the T-shirt. Yeah.
You got Norbed. We'll Norb you next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Named by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at motigusa.com.
The holiday season officially begins at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships with our exclusive Black Friday all-month-long sales event. Huge Black Friday all-month-long savings and discounts on America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC at nearby Cunis locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. All remaining new 2024 vehicles are now Black Friday all-month-long blowout price. Cunis has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, with many Black Friday all-month-long priced below $5,000. And payments as low as $149 per month. Additionally, with any new or pre-owned purchase in November, you'll get our exclusive No Fear lifetime warranty at absolutely no extra charge. Plus, we're paying above top Kelly Blue Book values on all trades in November, no matter the mileage or condition. The holiday season officially begins with exclusive November Black Friday all-month-long savings. Only at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships. Shop online at CunisBlackFriday.com. Ho, ho, ho!
The biggest stars, the biggest plays. Follow along to the NBA Cup and win Bucks tickets all week long. Tune into 94.5 ESPN for your chance to enter our Emirates Cup Bracket Challenge. Get assigned a team and cheer them on all the way to the NBA Cup Championship for a chance at the grand prize of 2 Bucks tickets. But if your team gets knocked out early, you can still witness unforgettable moments this season. Secure your seats at bucks.com/tickets. Tune in all day, every day for your chance to enter the Emirates Cup Bracket Challenge.
ESPN Wisconsin's Marc Toscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 700 milliliter bottle of Water Joe at your local Festival Foods for 99 cents now until December 8th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that 700 milliliter bottle of Water Joe for only 99 cents through December 8th at your local Festival Foods location.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
.com.
Bow on this Jordan Love conversation about him being healthy, but Tausch, you would agree it is probably the biggest factor in how far this football team's going to go.
Jordan's health.
Jordan's health and Jordan playing well, which relates back to his health.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, I think even when you look at this team as a group and what we've seen glimpses defensively in the run game, it's not even that Jordan has to, yes, him being healthy is important, no question. It's more just if Jordan cleans his blank up.
Right.
This team's going to be dynamite.
Right. He doesn't have to be 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions guy.
He just has to, and I'm not going to use the term game manager because that's not who he is. He is a rip-it guy. He is going to rip some throws. He's going to wow you. He just has to understand the flow of game and what is needed from him. He doesn't need, and I know you guys are going to hate this, but he doesn't need to be Superman 4 quarters a game in every game.
You don't say.
If I've ever seen...
Have a meal with Ron.
Take a beat.
If there's ever a game that he can leave the cape and the tights at home, just pack your Clark Kent outfits when you get on that plane to Chicago. Go out, yes, you said it. Go out to Cut. Great steakhouse down there in Chicago.
Are you hoping that they will just start having you be an endorser for them?
I'm just going to let you know.
5 shows
I had
in a
a
row.
great experience. I had a great experience down there. They're a great partner. When Silvy joins us, am I going to bring it up? You're darn right I am, because I love great partnerships.
How far will my urine-soaked $100 bill go toward my meal?
That will also get brought up. But this is a game that Jordan Love, and I don't know if Veronica's going down. I hope she is, and I hope they give her better seats than they had in Kansas City. But this is the case where I just want him to go down with his Clark Kent lunch pail, go to the Daily Planet, write up your article, go grab a beat, go to Cut with your lovely fiance, grab a meal, go do your thing, and head home. I don't need you flying around Hancock Tower and Wrigley Field and putting out fires and doing all this other stuff. No. Clark Kent it down in Chicago this weekend. Grab your meal, and I'm going to tell you right now, Green Bay's going to get it done.
He has to play well, though. He does. Like, we're not saying he has to
Was
be...
Clark Kent a good writer? He was a good writer.
I don't think they really covered that part of his career.
What if they did a prequel where he's at Big J school and he's learning the ropes? And hey, he's he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. He's winning, and he just gets this great power. That he is a competent. My point is, I don't even care if he's a 3-time sports writer or whatever. All you have to be is competent, because Lord knows Clark was competent in his role at the Daily Bugle, or whatever they call it.
He did make it
Was it the Daily Planet or the
Daily Planet?
Yeah.
He did make it seem pretty easy to be a writer. Like,
I got news for you.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think it's rocket science. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Jason's writing on a picnic table at a high school game. He's writing 15 articles while he's watching Law and Order. You act like you're splitting the atom.
If they do,
Clark Kent.
If they do a Superman remake, what if they did it where he like gets laid off in the latest round of layoffs from the Daily Planet?
All right, hey.
You gotta figure out tumultuous life.
Well, you better go digital. I mean, Clark's going to be ahead of the game. He's going to go digital.
Start a YouTube
Probably
series.
Get like some type of subscription service. Yeah, I mean, Clark is going to be ahead of the game. And if he doesn't, the great thing about Clark Kent, then he can go put the cape on, spin the globe backwards to reset, and then he could get ahead of it with Bitcoin and all the other stuff and be way ahead and get the Daily Planet into the digital era. So really, Clark Kent can use his Superman capabilities to save Clark Kent, the journalist.
To advance his career.
Pretty good.
Sometimes I wonder about this show.
I'd watch.
Do you agree, Jason, and I know you asked the question, do you agree that he just needs to Clark Kent this week? He doesn't need to.
No, he's got to be better. If we're going to continue with the Superman analogy.
Do we agree it's fun? It's a good little
It's
analogy.
super fun. There's no doubt.
Okay.
I'd like for it to evolve a little, but...
Like what?
I mean,
what is Jordan Love's kryptonite? Next on Wilde and Tausch.
You've been up here saying, take a beat, have a dinner with Lois for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun.
I like it.
So here's the thing, and again, I am not an aficionado of the Superman comic books. I'm guessing that we have some fans that have some knowledge of all these different realms of superheroes, right? Marvel and DC Comics, etc. I don't. That's not my area of expertise. I do enjoy some of the movies, but he didn't always have to save the world, right? Superman sometimes was doing, I don't want to say mundane superhero work, but, saving a little old lady who's about to get run over by a truck or whatever it might be. And so if we're using this analogy for Jordan Love, he has to do some of those type of rudimentary superhero things. He does not have to do reversing the Earth's rotation to go back in time so Lois isn't dead. And when I look at him, he has had some moments this season in which not only has he not been the superhero, but he's let the little old lady get hit by the truck. Or he's made other mistakes where the superhero doesn't make those. And he has to eliminate those. And I do believe that those are going to be less frequent because he will not be. I'm sorry. I really do believe in the value of practice. And I think that a lot of his technical issues, fundamental issues, accuracy issues are tied to, yes, his health, not stepping into throws the way he would normally step in with his left leg. That's where the knee injury is. That's where the groin injury is. That is your step into your throw leg. And he's been inaccurate. Did you like the pantomime there? Did you like that?
That was good.
You're smirking.
I was gonna jump in, but I'm not gonna interrupt you when you're rolling.
So I do believe that has been a factor. And so your hope would be that with more practice, those things go away and those are less frequent. But I agree with you. He doesn't have to be save the world Superman. But occasionally he's got to be,
not this weekend. He doesn't.
But a week from now, when they play the San Francisco 49ers,
is that coming up in 2 weeks already? That's the next game is San Fran. Well, I'll be darned. Son of a gun. The bottom line is he has tried to be. He's had too many capes. He's had to bring the cape up more than he's needed to. Is there going to be times he needs it? Absolutely. Maybe it will be San Fran. But all I'm saying is the thing that I'm probably most irritated about is that he hasn't, I guess, noticed or understood as the game was going. The Texans game is the one that bothers me the most because they were so inept on offense. And the ball kept, and you still made enough mistakes to keep minute. That's a game, if you would have lost that game, Jordan would have been sick to his stomach. Now, luckily, that was a game where he started a fire as Clark Kent and had to go get a cape, go down and lead him down to go get a field goal. He ended up getting the cape out, boom, boom, putting the fire out, boom, and got it done. if you don't start fires, you don't need to do that. Obviously, stuff does pop up. And I think that is where some of that practice and some of the other things that you're mentioning has led him to make some uncharacteristic mistakes. But now we'll find out in this next 8 weeks, is that uncharacteristic or that's where we're at? That's what this next 7-8 weeks is going to be.
All right. I want to shift gears to the ineptitude of the Chicago Bears. And I want to get to, at some point, what Xavier McKinney had to say yesterday in the locker room as well, because there is definitely some beef for him.
Stuff. It's good stuff.
With DJ Moore. But we'll get to that coming up after Tausch tells us about Johnson & Sons Paving, which is opportunity here to pave over the Bears on Sunday. No?
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice.
Get ready for spring and do it now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving to make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the winter. Potholes and cracked curbs, drainage issues. If things are bad now, they ain't going to get any better. Make sure you call Johnson & Sons Paving to get it fixed. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote and get a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that is needed by spotting fatigue cracking, standing water, warping, buckling, sinking pavement, and more. Don't scare away customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now. Save money later. JohnsonSonsPaving.com.
All right. We will get to that coming up. I want to make sure everyone knows that Silvy is joining us as well. I don't think I've done a good job of promoting that. He joins us at 11:30, our buddy Marc Silverman from Wilde and Silvy. He is scheduled to appear at 11:30. I can't wait to hear, based on how one of our other Chicago teammates, the Catman, started our week. I look forward to hearing from Silvy. That's all still ahead, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Mary make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice double gold medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
All you men, listen up. It's future Mrs. Brust here. I want to tell you about my wonderful experience at Robert Hack Diamonds. My fiance Ben and the team at Robert Hack picked out my dream engagement ring for me. And then I personally worked with their team to pick out the perfect wedding band. Experience what I did at Robert Hack Diamonds. Stop in at their Brookfield or Greenfield location. While you're there, mention ESPN and spend at least $2,000 right now on any of their in-stock jewelry and get a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. It's a deal you can't pass up. If it wasn't for Robert Hack Diamonds and their team of jewelry experts, I wouldn't have trusted my fiance Ben to make the right call. View what they have in stores online at roberthackdiamonds.com and get free diamond stud earrings. All you have to do is mention ESPN at their Brookfield or Greenfield locations when purchasing at least $2,000 of in-stock jewelry. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
Republic of Congo.
Yes, sir.
And Spain.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Serge Ibaka.
Yes, sir.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
One of the best chefs in the world.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Only way to get me, you have to come to Paris.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
While some of us on the panel feel bad for Bears fans, others want to revel in their dysfunction. So let's do that, shall we? With a round of Did You Hear This?
Consider it the radio version of a conversation at the water cooler. It's time for Did You Hear This? On Wilde and Tausch.
Now let's check in on how things are going in Chicago this week as they get set to face the NFC North Division rival Green Bay Packers, huh?
Spoiler alert, not well.
This is ESPN Bears reporter Courtney Cronin, the Rob Domofsky of the Chicago Bears, joining ESPN 1000, talking about the future of the Chicago Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus.
They've never beat Green Bay under Matt Eberflus. They've lost 10 times in a row. And I get that question. Well, could Eberflus be fired after the Green Bay game? If it goes poorly, we know how much this game means to the McCaskey family. And we know that the team would be 4-6 facing Minnesota, then Detroit, and just this onslaught of really tough teams that are coming up. You can't pile on change after change at this point of the season when it's already a very fragile state.
What do you think of what Courtney Cronin has to say about the future for Matt Eberflus, Tausch?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to fire somebody, fire him.
Yes.
Dead man walking. So I don't fully understand that. I think the McCaskies try not to fire coaches until the end of the season. You got a gaping wound. Go get some stitches. Don't just throw a bandage on it. This is a gaping wound. If they get beat, if the Packers go down to Chicago and smoke them,
blow them out.
Just embarrass them, I think it's time. Beep. Boot him and reboot. You're going to have a new coach next season anyways. You might as well try to get a charge because I do think that Washington Hail Mary completely gutted this football team. And they are, you talk about fragile. That glass is broke, Courtney. It's broke. You can sit there and try to, scrounge around on a bunch of shards of glass, or you can throw the boxes out and bring in something new. I personally don't like getting shards, so give me something new.
You're anti-shard? Good to know. They're a mess, and I don't know what they accomplish by sticking with it if it continues to go poorly. But look, maybe they think they can turn things around. They get an upset win over the Packers. They figure out a way to protect.
Think that?
I don't think their players think that. No. I think they went into the season with legitimate expectations and hopes.
I do too.
And now and I could not agree with you more on the Washington loss. Not that they lost, but the way they lost. They were going to win the game. If a player isn't being a complete knob and not paying attention, and if the coach doesn't have the wherewithal to realize that he has 3 timeouts and somebody's got to be on the headset saying, hey, what is our idiot safety doing down there? Like, they win
firing
that
up the
game.
crowd. He's getting a crowd fired.
Getting after it, yeah.
Yeah. If they win that game, you talk about how thin the edge is in this league. That was the tipping point for them going to hell in a handbasket.
They would have been 5-2 if they won.
Right.
Yeah, that is the straw that broke the camel's back. Boom.
Next.
Did you hear this?
Mike Greenberg on Get Up. Greeny. Fun word that he uses to describe the Chicago Bears here.
This is an organizational catastrophe. The degree to which they have mishandled this situation is now embarrassing. They've known since well before the draft itself who their quarterback was going to be. The overwhelming priority of this franchise, of this organization, of this business was to develop this young man who clearly has gifts that almost no other quarterback we've ever seen has. You decide Shane Waldron is the guy, and they chose a person to do that. Why were they so limited in their options? At least in part because they kept a lame duck head coach, so none of the young hotshot offensive coordinators who had a lot of options were interested in going there because they all knew we're 1 year away from getting fired anyway.
Greeny, strong. And he's got Chicago roots. He went to Northwestern. What'd you make of that, Tausch?
I think it's interesting, but I would bet that if I looked back and listened to Greeny in April and in May, they would have been applauding all of the talent that they brought in around him. Because I was told this season, oh, look at all Keenan Allen and all this talent. You're finally giving a quarterback chance to be successful. He's in the best scenario to be successful this season. Nobody said that about Jaden Daniels or Drake May. So I get it, man. This is a weird business. You have to defend takes. You can just avoid and just act like you never said anything. I appreciate when I'm wrong. I'll talk about it. Lord knows, you're on 15 hours a week, and in Jesse's case, somewhere between 8 and 10 hours a week. You're going to say things. Thank you for the courtesy laugh. You're going to say things that are going to be wrong,
took
and
a
that's
while
fine.
for that to register.
I tried to tell you the Bear wasn't going to be any different in Chicago, and the root of it was you either needed to commit to Eberflus or you needed to fire him, because the last thing you want to do is waste a season. And you just wasted a season. Your quarterback, you're not asking, is he getting better and growing? You're asking, did you ruin him? Think about that. There's nobody asking, boy, is Caleb Williams growing or developing? Adam Schefter this morning on Get Up said, the question now is, are you ruining him? Is he ruined? Like, think about that from an organizational standpoint. You can't, that's why coaches aren't lame ducks. You did it in Dallas, and that's a hot mess. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. So would it be the same if they'd hired Kingsbury or Ben Johnson? No. Because then you could actually get the feel of a build. Now you're literally looking at an old rundown, beaten up house, and you're not going to demo it. You're going to try and patchwork it. And once you get a stiff breeze and that thing starts swaying, people are like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I ain't going down with this house. Boom, I'm gone. Next thing you know, you got a decrepit house, and then at the end of the year, you're like, well, maybe we should just demo this bad boy. But instead of demoing all the house, which they never do, they demo half of it.
They never
think,
do.
well, we'll save a little bit on this other half. And what happens when that half ends up going to, it's a cycle of ineptitude. Somebody will have to break it. And if you think it's going to be Kevin Warren, good luck. Good luck. How does Liam Neeson say it? Good luck.
Did you hear this?
That was solid. Solid Neeson there. Little T.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, you nailed it.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
Or not.
I appreciate it.
Packers fan Michelle Smallman repping the team well on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. Here's what she had to say about the state of the Chicago Bears this week.
We've let the Bears, that 85 team, the Super Bowl shuffle, the monsters of the Midway, cloud our version of what the Bears are historically as a franchise because of this lore and image around them. We sometimes cut them more slack than they deserve. I keep looking at Detroit, who's figured it out. I look at Washington, who's finally figured it out. The Houston Texans were a dumpster fire. They had a preacher running the thing, and they figured it out. And the Bears are still in the same position. When we're talking about the worst franchises in all of sports, the Chicago Bears have got to be mentioned.
Is she right, Tausch?
The last decade, yes. I think Michelle has to also take a look at the Lions were the laughingstock for over 20 years.
Correct.
They've been good for 2 years. Let's slow our roll. I appreciate what Dan Campbell and their group have done.
No doubt.
But they were the laughingstocks of laughingstocks. First team to go 0-16. They stunk on stunk. So let's not just all of a sudden say, well, it's 2 years. Hey, kudos to them. And you know what they did? They stuck with and had some patience in their program. 1-7, fans calling out Dan Campbell, all the other stuff, and they stuck with their belief, and they drafted well. They stopped drafting wide receivers every frickin' pick. And they said, maybe a Penei Sewell will be a good pick. Maybe we get a strong offensive line, and maybe Jared Goff can play.
Right.
Maybe he won't be god-awful. And you think if Jared Goff went to the Bears, he'd still be in the league 4 years ago? No. So I get it, and I do think the Bears have gotten a little bit of a pass. But in the same respect, the Bears and what they do defensively, sans the last 3 or 4 years, they have put it together enough with the helps of Urlacher and Briggs and some of those cats that were just dynamite players. They were able to win and be really competitive for a long time, too. And they've made a Super Bowl. So I am not going to sit here and just say, well, the Bears franchise, they stink now. Do I have hope that they're going to get better? I think their ownership group doesn't know what the hell they're doing. That's what's going on. And if you don't have that, now you have a bunch of people thinking that they know, but they don't really know. And that's how you end up in this continual cycle of ineptitude. And that's what they're doing. And by the way, love it. No problem. Great. Keep doing it.
I haven't really chimed in much during this segment because Tausch has been so good with our Did You Hear This? The only nitpicking I would do is that when you wanted to go to good luck, when I think of someone saying good luck, I think of Lucius Fox in The Dark Knight saying, let me get this straight. You think that your client, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the world, is secretly a vigilante who spends his nights beating criminals to a pulp with his bare hands, and your plan is to blackmail this person? Good luck. That's what I think of good luck. Other than that, outstanding segment by you.
Liam Neeson saying good luck, like, good luck.
That's not how he says it.
Was getting Matt Eberflus fired part of your plan?
My plan is to play trivia.
Of course.
Jesse, what's today's category and what caller would you like?
Great moments in Packers-Bears history in honor of all this going on here. 10 straight wins against the Bears.
10 straight wins, so caller 10. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 10 right now to play trivia. Tausch, how does the Packers' dominance over the Bears affect your thought process for prize picks this week?
I'm going to take a long, hard look at Caleb. I'm going to more than likely go less. I'll see. We'll get into that tomorrow. But I do think Josh Jacobs in that run defense that Chicago's had has been very porous. So it makes me think Josh Jacobs more. That's the beauty of prize picks. Everybody can play, over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. It's made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. You pick more or less. on at least 2 players. You can go all the way up to 6, and you get 100 times your cash. Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. They put their members first, and all of their withdrawals, they're fast, they're safe, and they're secure. And when your pick hits, it'd be nice to have one of those this week, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Although, Ulti had a dub last night. Giannis and LeBron. More and more. Pretty good little night for Ulti. Download the app today. Use code WI, and you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game.
Why did you go behind the paper to say your?
Play caller.
Yeah, John Gruden. John Gruden's back. Jesse's back. No.
Trivia's next. Caller 10, 844-770-3776. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Financial literacy can make a huge impact on the success of our future leaders by engaging in hands-on courses, teaching essential skills like budgeting, savings, and investing. Junior Achievement of Wisconsin is helping prepare students for a future of financial success and independence. Bring these vital lessons to your school or community. Visit wisconsin.ja.org to learn more. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Come to Kessler's and be greeted by an owner of the store.
We're America's largest employee-owned jewelry company.
Okay, but as a customer, what does that mean to me?
For one thing, it means you get to see every possible diamond choice.
Kessler's has diamonds from diamond mines and created diamonds from plasma chambers.
You can choose from 1,400 loose diamonds.
And every style of engagement ring ever designed.
Okay, I'm convinced.
And no other store can show you a Kessler 81.
With 81 facets instead of just 57, it wins the sparkle contest every time.
I'm convinced.
And no other store has the Kessler Princess Cut.
Or the exclusive Kessler's Emerald Cut or Kessler's Square Radiant Diamond.
I give up.
And when you want to tell her that you love her twice as much today as the day you married her.
Kessler's has big anniversary diamonds that can be twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Kessler's is unique in all the world.
So what do you say to all that, Sarah?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Menards is your lighting headquarters. We have a huge selection of lights from top brands, including Good Earth Lighting. Whether you're looking for a light that complements your unique style or helps with your home projects, we have you covered. Pick up a 44-inch length, 10,000 lumen LED shop light on sale now through November 17th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
We had a first-time contestant, Jesse. Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Well, that streak, much like your streak of consecutive programs worked, is coming to an end because we have ourselves a first-time contestant. It is Joe in Brookfield. Joe, good morning. How are you?
Very good. It's my birthday, too, so first-time contestant.
Wow. How old are you today, Joe? Are you as old as Homer or as young as Jesse?
Probably as old as Homer.
Okay, that's our target demo. That works out for us. All right, here we go. Great moments in Packers.
Are you going to ask his income and any of the other stuff that you normally ask our
Social Security number, height and weight? No, I'm not going to ask any of those things. I am going to ask you to ask him the first question of trivia.
So, Joe, would you pick up a urine-soaked $100 bill in a bathroom? A, yes. B, no. C, it's disgusting. I can't believe Wilde would do that.
A, yes.
Atta Joe. Give an entry. All right. In 2002, the Packers defeated the Bears on Monday Night Football, with the Bears playing a home game on the campus of which of these universities? Is it the University of Illinois, the Northern Illinois University, or Bradley University, my old pal Jelly's alma mater?
Number 2. What was it?
Northern Illinois?
Yeah.
No.
Illinois.
Tausch missed this game with a knee injury.
I did. Yep.
But Kabir had a fumble/interception return for a touchdown, I remember. And Tom Oates was very unhappy with the front desk at the Holiday Inn in Champaign-Urbana, where they almost took our entire beat corps, like 12 or 14 of us, and had us sleep in a conference room on cots because they didn't have enough rooms. But that's another story for another day. Question 2.
Thankfully, Clark Kent was there to save the day.
That's a lovely garden spot, Champaign-Urbana. All right, question 2 is this. Which Packers player returned a pick six in the season opening game last year at Soldier Field en route to the Packers' 38-20 win in Chicago? Was it Darnell Savage, Quay Walker, or Jair Alexander?
Alexander.
I just want to emphasize how happy we are that you're playing for the first time, even though it's going poorly.
It's going poorly, yes.
Joe's getting beat around in his big league debut here.
All right, let's get question 3. The rare
we're
first
gonna get
and
one here.
second one wrong.
It was Quay
third
Walker,
one right.
by the way. It was Quay Walker.
Yeah, Quay. The last time the Bears defeated the Packers was the 2018 season when the Bears won the NFC North. But in the playoffs, which Bears kicker missed the infamous double doink field goal, resulting in a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles? Is it Cairo Santos, Cody Parkey, or Eddie Pinheiro?
Cody Parkey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, we got one. These were not easy, and we can't blame Up North Jim or Joe or whoever. This is Jesse wrote these, and they were not easy. Nevertheless, you did get one right in your debut, Joe, and that means you've got 2 of the possible 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing. And happy birthday to you. We're getting a lot of mileage out of happy birthday music between Jesse's birthday last week, Homer's yesterday, and yours today. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate your loyalty to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, that is Wilde and Tausch trivia. That was tough.
Yeah, not easy. Not easy.
It's also tough when your bathroom sucks.
Yes.
And you don't call the right people.
Yep.
To renovate
Anything
it and
else
get that
with bathrooms?
and install a urinal so then you can retrieve a $100 bill from it.
Yeah, you better go and call our friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services, family-owned business. And for 150 years, what a great Wisconsin company, Kohler. Luxury. You think it all. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, 0 interest for 12 months and a free shower door with that Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation. Well, you know that is always included. Again, head over to KohlerServicesWI.com.
The 11 o'clock hour will include a visit from Silvy, but it will start with our conversation about the beef that Xavier McKinney has with DJ Moore. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The bye week is over for the Packers, who take on the struggling Chicago Bears at Soldier Field this Sunday, looking to hopefully get their defensive line to start to play the way they hoped it will. And with just 22 sacks so far through 9 games this season, GM Brian Gutekunst is ready to see them improve.
Yeah, I think they've done a nice job so far, and I think those guys got to continue to kind of work within the scheme and what we're doing. So I expect a lot of those guys in the second half of the season. I think they'll continue to improve. And
it's the Packers and Bears from Soldier Field on Sunday at noon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 700-milliliter bottle of Water Joe at your local Festival Foods for 99 cents now until December 8th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that 700-milliliter bottle of Water Joe for only 99 cents through December 8th at your local Festival Foods location.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Wilde and Tausch begins now. Now, Tausch, again, remind everyone that you were not a trash talker. You were a complimenter, correct? That was your approach. Tell people that don't listen every day what your approach was to getting on the good side of your opponents.
Okay, so there were obviously John Randall and Sapp and there's different defensive linemen that I think they fed off of that energy of, wanting to talk trash and getting into it with a lot of folks. I looked at it from the complete opposite perspective. The guys I would line up against, Julius Peppers, you could go through a list of different guys that I'd have to play against, and almost every one was a better athlete, was faster. I don't know if I'd say their core was stronger, but I think their bench and everything else. So I always looked at it from the perspective of, why on earth would I want to motivate and get anyone to play harder against me than I'd have to? Like, I want them feeling as comfortable and as friendly as they could. So I would, a lot of times during a break, especially guys like Bears and Vikings that I'd play a bunch in the middle of the season, I'd just let them know that I thought they're having Pro Bowl seasons. They're really good players. And try to get them to feel as good. Some guys didn't buy it. Some guys did. And if I only got one guy to buy it, I was happy. But I was never going to go and spit fire. And now I would try and cut their legs down.
Sure.
On backside runs.
No.
I'd do everything during the snap. But outside of that, I'm not in the media. I'm not going to try and fire them up. I don't have any interest in getting people's urine hot. Keep that urine cold. Cold urination in that regard. So that was my idea on trash talking.
Like the temperature of the pee that's on my $100 bill that I've removed from the urinal.
Don't you always find it weird? The other day, I don't know where we were, when they dump those buckets of ice in the urinals.
Yeah, that is weird.
You're not a big bar guy. But it's kind of it actually is a better, like if I had a pick, ice or no ice, when it comes to urinals, give me ice. You feel like you're accomplishing something when you're peeing and you're melting the ice.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's a crazy thing, but that's how I feel.
You feel like you're accomplishing something.
Feel like you're finding $100.
Yes.
So, speaking of heating up people's urine, apparently DJ Moore did so with Xavier McKinney on May 7th on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. Now, I'm not sure, Jesse, that Xavier McKinney is remembering this accurately. And you know I am a stickler for accuracy.
Oh,
but
we know.
hey, whatever gets you motivated. So let's start on May 7th when DJ Moore appears on Kay Adams' show. What does he say to Kay Adams?
You know, the NFC North, what I noticed, they really beefed up their secondary. Have you noticed that?
Who?
The Lions, they took two corners
yeah,
back to back. Xavier McKinney's in Green Bay now.
That's nice.
Yeah? How do you feel?
I don't feel no way about it. They just there.
All right, now, that's not how Xavier McKinney remembers it. So yesterday, Xavier McKinney was talking at the same time as Jordan Love. So Domofsky and I, in our little consortium of one-man bands that band together to cover the locker room, Domofsky and I are at Love. Our buddy Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated is at McKinney. And McKinney is talking about rivalries and unprompted brings up what DJ Moore told Kay Adams.
There's a clip somewhere out there where DJ Moore said something about, like, they're asking him about, the Packers getting me, and he was kind of like, who? And so, like, all that stuff kind of, that's in my memory bank, and, I go, I work accordingly to that.
You think he knows who 29 is now?
I hope so, but I don't give a damn what he know. Like, this dude walked out on him, like, I've been playing football for 5 years now, and I've been watching football for longer than that. And I don't think I've ever seen you're supposed to be the guy, and you walking, you just walking off the field, and then you walking off the field on a rookie quarterback that you've been praising. So it's like, it's a whole nother story.
His ankle hurt, though, remember that?
Yeah, man.
It's what, him and Antonio Brown, that's about it, right?
Cap. That's what I say, cap.
Hubes. That's Hubes, right?
That is Bill Huber, yes.
Hubes twisting that needle. He wants to keep getting that quote. He wants that little click. I like it. I get it.
So in the interest of accuracy,
his ankle was sore.
Nobody, no one, not DJ Moore, no one said the Packers got Xavier McKinney, and they said who? That is not what. In fairness to DJ Moore, that is not what happened. Nevertheless, my question for you. So Xavier X is riled up. Can't wait to get after this guy. But he chooses to bring this up publicly, not keep this in, the back of his mind as he gets ready for the game. And now we all know about it. I got the team down at ESPN Chicago asking for the audio. From your perspective, as a former player who used to compliment their opponents, what do you think of what Xavier McKinney did yesterday, putting this back out on the streets and getting this into the conversational realm for us and many, many others by saying what he did about being offended by DJ Moore's disrespect?
So if I am the highest paid player, and by most accounts one of the best at my position, and my confidence is through the roof to that degree, and I just signed a new extension, I still wouldn't do it because that's just not my DNA.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But defensive backfield and how they approach things, it's just a different world. And anytime you can utilize slights, perceived or real, do it in this world. Michael Jordan made stuff up. I mean, he punished that poor kid from the Wizards. I don't even know what the hell happened. That kid didn't know what happened to him. Tom Brady did it over and over, whether it was a backup safety for the Steelers. That's just, you want dogs.
Yeah.
Xavier's a dog. And, by the way, calling him out for that lack of whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
It's bold.
You
don't typically see it, but it is a new generation of players. It just is new. There is, and I don't want to say it's a lack of respect, because I think Xavier McKinney felt like it was a lack of respect for DJ Moore to do what he did.
Agreed.
And a lot of times you would just say, well, if I was asked a question like that, I would say, that's in their locker room. It would never happen here. That's how I would have responded to that. Xavier had a different way of doing it, and I don't have a problem with it at all because he's going to go back it up. And it's him, and it's a different story when you'd have a tight end or a running back talking smack to John Randall, and it's like, well, dude, you don't have to block him. Shut your mouth. If you want to get after a safety or a middle linebacker, that's going to be covering you.
Right.
Have at it. That's your deal. Don't you go gassing up Julius Peppers all day and then say, all right, Tausch, good luck. No, that's not how I want to. That's not how I want to be. But Xavier McKinney had all he wants. It's going to be him. He, I think, felt like he disrespected the game. And by the way, I totally agree with him.
He's right.
What he did is
100%.
It is a disrespect for the game. So, and if you're going to be a leader, I thought what he did, and I think that in DJ Moore's heart, he knows that was a bad move.
You would hope so.
And now we get to see the beautiful part of this is we get to see on Sunday at noon. We'll see who wins and who loses that battle, and then the talk will commence. I can assure you, if the Bears get smoked and DJ Moore doesn't do much, it'll be real quiet. I wouldn't be surprised if he does the old bring his clothes into the shower and
or
sneaks
shower
out
pill.
the back door.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or a shower pill. And doesn't have to deal with it because now there's this little back and forth. Xavier's been up front, man. I think that comes from a place of very high confidence and not a ton of respect for how DJ Moore has went about his business.
Agreed. All right. We want to be able to get to Marc Silverman on time. So I want to take this opportunity to remind you what we've been talking about all season long. This is a great thing that Steinhoffels is doing. They partnered with Special Spaces Wisconsin and the Packers to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. This season, every time the Packers make a field goal, which is with increased efficiency now with Brandon McManus kicking them, Steinhoffels donates $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. So every time he makes a kick, you can think not only did he put 3 points on the board, but he also helped kids battling cancer. Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934. They are 100% employee-owned, and they are a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LoTUSA.com.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. But we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
Staying healthy isn't easy, especially here in Wisconsin with all that game day cheese. Brad Nortman here from Kyle Bruston Nortman. Between work, family, and life, managing nutrition and fitness can feel overwhelming. Trust me, I know. Quintessa in Brookfield has all the answers. As a member of their wellness membership, I have access to the Quintessa Nutrition app with customized meal plans, grocery lists, and a food tracker that keeps me on track to meet my fitness goals. Members also get 10% off all other wellness services. Take charge of your health. Visit myquintessa.com/wellness.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
So I know you're a NBA expert.
Expert. I'm very well versed in the big picture of the NBA.
Okay, so then let me go to Jesse for the micro instead of the macro.
Okay.
Giannis with, 59 last night?
59, yeah.
Big win for your Milwaukee Bucks. But help me understand the NBA Cup. So does this game count in the standings?
NBA Cup games count for the standings. So everyone is in a group of 5. So you play a round robin as you're qualifying. And then there's like point totals go into the tiebreaker or margin of victory. I forget exactly how it all. There's a tiebreaker on points scored. And then they take the top 8, and then they play a round after that, a knockout game. And then the top 4 go to Vegas for the semifinals and then the tournament championship.
And those do not count in the standings, then?
I forgot.
Okay, super helpful. Thank you for your service.
They all count. I think they all count.
Because wouldn't that mean there'd be more teams that would have more than 82 games then?
No, because then the teams who don't make it to the knockout round, they get rescheduled. They get like 2 games added at some. So I think the championship game doesn't count for the standings, but the rest of it does.
I'm just glad to see the Bucks win. What are they now? 3-8?
4-8. Come on, let's not shortchange.
Oh, there we go. 4-8.
That's 2 in a row.
See the rebound.
2 in a row.
So there you go. But we do have
guy
the NBA
choked last night. Had 2 free throws to win it with 1 second left. Missed both of them, and you could tell just as he was dribbling, it was like, woo! Short armed the heck out of it, and then butchered the second one. It's good stuff.
Not like Tausch playing for a WIAA state championship, that's for sure.
Well, we got beaten that one, too.
But not because of your free throw shooting. All right, well, we've got our NBA Cup contest going on. The NBA's in-season tournament, and ESPN Wisconsin is putting Bucks tickets on the line all week long. Here's what you got to do. You tune into ESPN Wisconsin, which you're doing literally right now. And you can be entered into our Emirates NBA Cup Bracket Challenge. So right now we will take caller 5 and caller 9, because Giannis had 59 points. Get it? 59, 5-9. Caller 5 and caller 9, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Now the Thunder and the Suns are already off the board, right, Jesse?
That is correct. We have 3 teams left.
So you have 3 teams to choose from. Caller 5 will get to pick one. Caller 9 will, and then somebody tomorrow will be stuck with whatever team is left. The teams we have remaining, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Spurs. Then you follow your team throughout the in-season tournament, and if your team wins, you will win $2 tickets. And if your team doesn't win, you can still secure your seats to have unforgettable moments at Bucks games at bucks.com/tickets. So right now, caller 5 and caller 9, you will qualify, and you'll get your team for our NBA Cup Bracket Challenge, 844-770-3776. Waddle and Silvy star Marc Silverman scheduled to appear. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
One night, one stage. Billy Joel and Sting. Saturday, April 26th. One special evening at American Family Field, Milwaukee. Pre-sale for City Card members now through Thursday at 10 p.m. Public on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Saturday, April 26th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Sting.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again!
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount liquor.
Opening day's not quite here, but Hunt Week is on at Fleet Farm, your hunting headquarters. Get a Maverick Weather Repellent 5-panel hunting blind on sale for $689.99. And get a hot deal on our Orange Friday warming seat cushion, now just $6.99. Plus, take half off an Orange Friday Performance Fleece hoodie, now only $14.99. Get all your gear at the best prices, guaranteed, from Fleet Farm. And good luck this season.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the weekend is here. Are you ready to make some money betting the games? We had another great weekend last week, 4-2 with our football selection Saturday, and another 4-1 on Sunday. 9-3 over the weekend, and we are ready to roll into the holiday season. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today if you're betting on the games. $99 this weekend to make money betting on football. That's $99 to make money betting the games. They're emailed to you on your personal portal at FatJackSports.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse, you got our two latest contestants for the NBA Cup Bracket Challenge.
We did. Congratulations to our two contestants. The Lakers and the Spurs are off the board. So tomorrow we'll give away the Utah Jazz.
That'll be it for our five.
The Jazz stink now.
We'll take caller one
City,
tomorrow. Caller one tomorrow. We'll get the Utah Jazz.
They are Tank City, USA.
Maybe they'll shock the world and win the cup.
Maybe
No,
they
they won't.
And then
They're
they'll
not
win
going
Bucks
to.
tickets. This guy is the opposite of the Jazz. They stink. His team stinks. There's no denying that. And is dysfunctional. And he hosts the halftime programming on the Bears Radio Network. It is our friend, Marc Silverman of Waddle and Silvy, who I'll talk to later today. Silvy, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Not good. No, it sucks. It all sucks again, guys. It all sucks again.
Hey, so, Silvy, I got a quick question for you. Jason has said he feels bad. He feels bad for Bears fans. He feels bad for his good buddy, you. You don't want him feeling bad for you, do you? Doesn't that just make it worse?
In one regard, it is sort of patronizing, where it's not only do you guys suck so bad, it's not even a rivalry. We'll just give you guys a pat on the head, and we're not even going to trash talk you how bad you are. Just go on your merry way, and here's a hug, and here's a little like parting gift, like you're Derek Jeter or something like that. So Tausch, I could see it that way. But I mean, I know where Wilde's coming from. Wilde, we talked about this before the season, and from a story standpoint, we thought that this would be the start of something new, the start of a new rivalry. And quite frankly, in Chicago, we're not even talking about the Packers this week because it's not even on our mind, because most Bears fans think they're going to get their ass kicked, and quite frankly, we want to kick most of their asses out of the coaching and start the coaching search over again.
So just so I can make myself clear here, I am not being patronizing. My issue is that if you are a Bears fan, and I tell this story all the time, I grew up as a Packers fan. My grandparents were among those Packers fans who helped save the franchise by buying tickets for Milwaukee games at State Fair Park in the 1940s. You are born more often than not. Some people choose their fandom, no doubt about it. But more often than not, it is passed down through generation. And so you become a Bears fan because you grew up in Chicago, your family is Bears fans, whatever it is. It's not your fault. I know I sound like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault.
Goodness.
But it's not your fault that the organization over and over and over again screws stuff up for the better part of the last 3 decades. Like, I was watching this thing that Kevin Fishbane from The Athletic did, where he it's a video thing where he goes through the different eras where you've basically never just married up the coach and the quarterback and have them joined at the hip and let's see what happens. It's always leftover coach or a leftover quarterback, and then it flips to the next one, and here we go again, because Matt Eberflus isn't going to be the coach next year. You knew you were getting Caleb Williams. Why didn't you go out and get someone who would help a can't-miss prospect not miss? And instead, the conversation, Silvy, about your team is, are they already ruining Caleb Williams?
It's funny because you're getting angry on the radio and you cover the Packers. You have no connection to the Bears. Your family never, but it goes beyond all common sense. It's like me when I talk about the White Sox. I'm a diehard Cubs fan. I have no stake in the White Sox, and I get really mad when I start talking about how bad and dumb the White Sox have been over the years because it doesn't make any sense. And exactly what you said is, if Jason Wilde can see it, if Silvy can see it, I'm just a boob on the radio. If Waddle can see it, who played for the team, if Joe Fan can see it, that they ran the same playbook as they've been running for the past decade plus on screwing this thing up. I've called it the circle of suck. It's been my nickname for this, that round and round they go. You know, Nagy's going to inherit Trubisky. Then he's going to get fired, and then they're going to try and you know, make Justin Fields work, or they're going to fire Trubisky first, and then they're going to make Fields work with Nagy. Then Nagy gets fired, and then they're going to make Justin Fields work with Eberflus. And then they get rid of Fields, and they're going to make Caleb work with Eberflus, and now Eberflus is going to get fired. That's what you're talking about, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense, and it's why the Bears are exactly here when they're about to play the Packers again.
So, Silvy, why do they keep doing it?
I don't know, and I feel like Tausch. We can't. That's like it's so confounding because we thought, and I feel like a sucker because I believed, and Ryan Poles had all these buzzwords. Like, I don't know how much you guys watched Hard Knocks, but he said it's time. Yeah, it's time to break the cycle. He understood that the organization has failed quarterbacks. Look, I don't know if Mitch Trubisky would have gone to Kansas City and would have been any good. I don't know if Justin Fields would have gone to another team and been any good. He's already on the bench for the Steelers. But we do know that the Bears have failed them along the way. And the one thing that he kept saying in buzzwords, in mottos, is that we were going to break the cycle. We, as in him talking about the Bears. And then his actions were everything against that motto. They did it like in a record-setting time, guys. They have fired another offensive coordinator in 9 games. It took them 9 games. And just to go back in history, something I've written about, something I've talked about on the air, Jay Cutler in 2010 was sacked 9 times in the first half against the New York Giants, and then suffered a concussion, had to leave the game. Justin Fields in his very first game against the Cleveland Browns was sacked 9 times, and it hurt his development. Caleb Williams against the New England Patriots, who don't rush the passer, who aren't good defensively. They sacked him 9 times in that last game. How are they allowing this to happen? Yeah.
9 times.
9.
It's organizational.
9
Silvy, you know
times.
the answer. It's your ownership group and your own. That's what it is. You can keep blaming the people that they put in there, but maybe we should look at the McCaskies and everything else and say they don't know what the hell they're doing.
It's not a maybe. There are no coincidences in this, Tausch. I mean, another one of my mottos that isn't hollow is it starts at the top. It always starts at the top. I did a fan and I were going back and forth on Instagram about some of the things that George has done since he's taken over. And you always think someone new is going to be better, and it turns out that they're not. Since George took over in 2011, he's had 5 head coaches. I want to say there's been 18 offensive coordinators, or 10. Maybe there's been 10 offensive coordinators and 18 starting quarterbacks. Think about all the starting quarterbacks for the Packers. There's been 18 starting quarterbacks.
That's a lot.
And you know how many playoff games the Bears have won under George?
Not very many.
0. 0.
Yeah, it's about
0. Tausch, it's not a coincidence. It is absolutely, for whatever reason, whether he's not paying enough, or he's to the coaches, or he's scared of another alpha male. You know, I've talked a lot about this week in the last couple of weeks. They had the finalists for their job with Marc Trestman was Marc Trestman or Bruce Arians. They didn't like the personality that Bruce Arians had. Bruce Arians was the reigning coach of the year when he interviewed. How many opportunities do you ever have to hire the reigning coach of the NFL? It's basically zero, because the reigning coach of the year is always going to retain his job. But Bruce Arians took over for Chuck Pagano when he was on leave for cancer. So he was named coach of the year. They were scared away by his alpha personality, and they hired Trustman. Bruce Arians goes on to Arizona, and then he goes on to Tampa, and he wins a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. This is the type of thing, and they love to cite their history here with George Halas. George Halas was an alpha. George Halas hired Mike Ditka, who was an alpha, and they've been scared away by the Mike Ditka experience. Yeah, but Mike Ditka is the only man in Bears history to ever win a Super Bowl. These are, and it makes no sense. None of this makes sense, guys.
Well, I agree, and I know Cap, who joined us, and by the way, great, it was awesome on ESPN Chicago on Monday with the coach. That stuff was all great, but the question I have is when you start flipping it forward here, and you're looking at it, I know you're not going to get into who's going to be the next coach because you still have these games left, but you broke some interesting news. I think it was you that broke this, right, about the players going up and almost Rudy styling, where they're dumping their jerseys. We want Badgett. Was that you that?
Yes, and the Rudy style is not true, and there's a lot of people who are coming at me because there are like Bears players going on the record saying that it never happened, or another reporter is trying to say that it didn't happen. I have it firsthand. Definitely trust my sources implicitly, and it did happen, whether it was a suggestion or a request. Shefty has basically said the same thing. The way the Bears like to do it is collaboratively, and they have discussed the possibility of sitting Caleb for his own good. And the players, there have been a segment of those players on the Leadership Council who have suggested or requested the same exact thing. And like a lot of people, like I'll give you a funny story. There were a lot of people, and I'm not a reporter like Wilde, but
no,
when
you
I
actually
have
break
something-
stories.
Yeah, very funny.
I was gonna say you broke more stories this week than Wilde has in 4 years. No offense,
but
Jason.
when I get something, when I get something, and I have it 1,000% locked, I'm gonna go with it. I had it with Chase Claypool before that. He was falling out of favor, and of course Justin Fields and others went to the podium and denied it. And then a few months later, he was traded to Miami because he was a malcontent in the locker room. Like, it will be proven right, and I stood by it. Back in the day when we hosted the Jay Cutler show, then it became the Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall show, I went and I said, guys, there's problems here. There is a disconnect, and the relationship between Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall is going bad. And people would tweet and people would text back when we had texts. They said, Silvy, you're causing drama. You're creating stuff for clicks, and you don't know what you're talking about. You want to know how I got the story? We hosted the Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall show. Jay Cutler would take his headset off and whisper and waddle in my ear how much he couldn't stand Brandon Marshall. And then the very next week,
that's good sourcing.
The very next week, Brandon Marshall would take off his headset in the commercial break and say, Silvy, ask me about Josh McCown because I can't stand Jay Cutler. He's terrible. And I was getting it from the horse's mouth from both guys. And people still had the nerve to say, I didn't know. Nobody really knows how or they say they want to know how the sausage is made, but they don't really want to know how the sausage is made.
All right, Silvy, I think what this comes down to, though, and look, we believed your sourcing. We know that you're well connected. But the fact that there are players making this suggestion, the fact that, I saw DJ Moore, which, again, How much you want to believe what DJ Moore says is up to you, but claiming that they didn't really ask for them to change offensive coordinators. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I believe Silvy.
Right.
The fact of the matter is this underscores whether it's a suggestion or a dropping a note in the suggestion box outside of Ryan Poles' office, whatever it is, it underscores the dysfunction. So as you go into this game, and again, I know you don't need my pity, but I did want this to become a rivalry again. And it's not because they've got a bunch of buffoonery going on and how the organization is run. So let's forget about Sunday because you've already decided that your team's not going to win. Even though I don't think it's a 0% chance they win, but it's pretty low.
Right, neither do I.
How does this – so how do you – if the McCaskies come to you and say, "Hey, boy, Silvy, you had that story right on the money. We got to break the cycle of what is it? The circle of suck, and we need you to help us."
Yes.
The season's going to be over. We're going to finish. We're going to have a top 5 pick again because we've completely butchered this season. Silvy, we are putting you in charge of breaking the cycle of suck. What are you telling the McCaskies? What are you going to do this offseason to save the franchise?
Look, and you can't look in reverse because you had the perfect opportunity to marry Jim Harbaugh, who played for the franchise, and he could have built the program here with his new quarterback. It would have been perfect. It stared them right in the face. But you can't go back and say you screwed up. So if we're going to go forward here, my biggest suggestions can be is it's hard enough to get a coach right. You can't shrink your pool by not be willing to pay somebody or not be willing to not like someone's personality who's a winner. Like, for instance, they wanted to hire Nick Saban years ago, but they didn't want to pay Nick Saban. Are they going to deem Ben Johnson the best coach, but is he going to want $15 million, and are they going to deem that too much money for a first-time head coach? It doesn't matter. It doesn't go against the salary cap. That's your cheat code. If you deem someone the best guy to turn Caleb into a star and your team into a contender every year, you hire that man, whether he's an alpha, whether it's Mike Vrabel, and he may make people in the building scared, and he's not willing to shake hands with the marketing department, whatever it is, you must hire the best coach. That's my advice.
So, Silvy, before we let you go, is there any chance that the Bears, in your opinion, can pull off an upset on Sunday?
There's always a chance. I mean,
yep.
There's absolutely always a chance. I still believe Caleb has ability. I still believe that there is talent on the offense. We know that the Bears' defense can force turnovers. We know what Jordan Love's Achilles heel has been this year. I took, for context, I took the Packers in the points. So I'm not predicting it, but you asked me the question, can it happen?
Yep.
And it still absolutely can happen. Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL.
Yep. But you're not putting your money on it.
No, I mean, like,
should you.
I owe you guys pizza, and for the record, I owe you guys pizza.
You're going to owe 2 because we double or nothing the beginning of the year. If you
I know, and like, I didn't want to run and be a baby or be a coward and say, no, I'm not going to go double or nothing on the bet. And just for the note,
right.
I reached out to Tausch as soon as we lost the bet, and I said, tell me when and where we can send the pizza. And I was ghosted. And I'm a quick pay guy. I never want to be known as a guy who's a well.
We wanted to let it fester. We had to let it fester a little bit.
All right. Well, I got news for you. It's now become you're taking them out to cut because that's all Tausch talks about.
Oh, do we love cut, don't we, Silvy? Cut's the best.
He's the best. Chicago. That's something that both
best.
Packer fans and Bears fans can agree on when you're in
we
Chicago.
can all agree on cut, for sure.
Go to Chicago cut,
sure.
yes.
Silvy, I'll talk to you later today with Waddle on your show. Thanks, buddy.
Are you scheduled, or do we have Domofsky today?
No, you made the right choice. You scheduled me. Domofsky must have been
joking. I love you, Wilde. I love you. Talk to you guys.
That is our buddy Silvy from Waddle and Silvy. You can listen to them each weekday on ESPN
Coors
1000
Light,
in
brewed
Chicago.
with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Make sure those mountains are blue when you're celebrating a another Packer victory versus the Bears. That's when you know it's chilled to perfection. Sub responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You would vote the opening of the show should be Brett Favre as an alien.
If a guy wrote a song for me, it would probably be my opening.
All right.
That's just me.
Well, but how many other people do you think have written a song for me?
None.
Pepper, what's your vote?
I will say 0 as well.
You guys are so mean and accurate.
All right, thank you.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6. Right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Freddie Coleman.
When you draft a guy last year like they were the 4th pick in the draft, you can't just give up on him a year and a half later. We're not talking about Josh Rosen here. What happened to him with the Arizona Cardinals, where a new regime came in and they decided they didn't want to be the quarterback. That's why they drafted Kyler Murray when they hired Cliff Kingsbury, the Arizona Cardinals. You specifically wanted this guy because he fits the offense that you have with the Indianapolis Colts, which is very similar to what they run in Philadelphia when he used to be the offensive coordinator. Anthony Richardson is that big body quarterback that you need to make that offense work. There's certain things that you can do in this offense that he has to do better, but also I said this when he benched Anthony Richardson. What are you going to do, Shane Steichen, and your staff to coach that guy up now? It's not just on Anthony Richardson. So if you're making this move again to go back to him, you're doing your about face and putting him back in the starting lineup, then what have you done in 2 weeks to make sure that the Anthony Richardson we saw last year where he got hurt is going to be the Anthony Richardson we should see, not the one at the beginning of this season for the Colts?
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Thanks to Silvy, we're out of of time. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Enjoy Jesse's day off tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
ESPN Wisconsin's Marc Toscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The biggest stars, the biggest plays. Follow along to the NBA Cup and win Bucks tickets all week long. Tune into 94.5 ESPN for your chance to enter our Emirates Cup Bracket Challenge. Get assigned a team and cheer them on all the way to the NBA Cup Championship for a chance at the grand prize of 2 Bucks tickets. But if your team gets knocked out early, you can still witness unforgettable moments this season. Secure your seats at bucks.com/tickets. Tune in all day, every day for your chance to enter the Emirates Cup Bracket Challenge.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Preston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Two things. I will use your own statistics regarding the Chargers earlier against you.
I look forward to this.
Yeah. Bengals this year, 0-5 against teams with winning records. 0-5.
Who are the teams?
All the teams that they have lost to with winning records? Yeah. I got to give them to you. I got to go and look. I'm just looking.
Yeah, the Ravens, they're pretty good. Kansas City, they're pretty good. We're putting the Chargers in this category?
Oh, no. I'm saying so far that that's what their stat is.
Commanders and Eagles are on there as well.
There you go.
Yeah, how about that? Bunch of good teams.
Yes. But the point is, they haven't beaten good teams. They've beaten bad teams. They're 4-1 against teams under 500.
The point is, this team might not be as good as the record indicates. So thank you for fun with statistics. What else you got? What's point two?
Point two would be, you and I both know this, there is no reason to trust the Bengals defense whatsoever. And Justin Herbert has not turned it over the course of 7 games now without an interception.
That part's impressive.
Right now, 7 straight games without an interception.
Do you think there is going to be any team more trendy as a Super Bowl pick next year than this Chargers team?
Oh, no.
Like, I brought this up a week ago. I kind of want to just bang the drum on this so that when it starts happening next year, everyone's like, yeah, Carlin versus Joe already told everyone that was going to happen. Like, I'm not actually making the pick. I just know that people are going to drool and stab each other to be the first ones in July to say the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. Like that race to get the Packers and the Texans out there this past year. I was like, I got to tell you something. I think it's going to be Houston. And it's like, no, we hear it. And I think next year it's going to be this race in the summer to see who can shotgun Chargers win the Super Bowl out of their mouth fast enough. The big take. I'm going to tell you something. Chiefs aren't winning the AFC West this year. Whoa!
Well, when you put it that way, it's going to be Canty. You know that.
I didn't want to say it. Canty leads off the mornings. He's got the first crack at it.
Put the hot take gun down, sir. Put the gun down.
Sir, please. Please. This is a Wendy's.
I'll take you 2 questions further. Number one,
we'll do everything. I got 2 points. I got 2 stats. I got 2 questions.
But I'm not
I don't have all day.
I'm not wasting your time here. Number one, Fortinball Palace. What do you think the odds will be for the Chargers at the beginning of next season to win the Super Bowl?
Inside 20-1. I'm looking forward to their all-season acquisitions. I'd say they feel like they're going to open like 17, 18, and then get bet down to like 12 or 14.
Question 2, they're at 40-1 right now. How far down will they get bet before the end of this season?
Oh, that's nice. They got the Bengals.
I'm not wasting your time.
Bengals, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs are the next 4. So we might be seeing, I mean, if you feel they're going to win during this stretch, you want to get that now. Otherwise, it's going to get higher. Because if you lose to Cincinnati and then you got Baltimore, you could lose to them. A good old-fashioned Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. How come no one told me that was happening this year? That's a Monday game, too, in Baltimore.
It is.
Oh, you got to get Jack out there. You got to get the whole family out there.
Oh, we'll get a big dose of Jack. Don't worry.
We're going to have the big treatment for Countdown. I don't know if anyone knows this. The coaches, they're brothers, going against each other. Super Bowl.
We are working on Joe Buck that day.
Old Joe Buck.
Trying to get Joe Buck, yeah. He knows a thing or two about, father-son sibling rivalries.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Did Joe Buck ever go head-to-head with a brother in the broadcast booth?
With his dad?
No, never mind. It was a stretch.
What you're trying to do is create a divide between Joe and his father, and I don't appreciate it. I don't think there's any need for that.
Joe, now look, we got some questions, okay? We're going to need some answers here.
Let's be fair. We know that you always thought that you were better than everybody else. Let's be fair. I don't know if you've read Joe's book. Joe's book is phenomenal.
I have not.
Really good read. Yeah. He wrote a book 5-6 years ago. Very, very good read.
What's it called?
Lucky Bastard, I believe. I believe it's Lucky Bastard.
How about that?
Yeah.
And what do I do with that? We hit the dump button there? What do we do? As a show, what do we do?
Is that a word I can't use?
I don't know.
I think you could
We'll find out.
You had no problem throwing it out there.
Well, that's the name of the book.
So that's on Buck.
Yes.
Yeah, if we get pinched, you can just forward that to one Mr. Joseph Buck.
I know when I'm getting my book now, geez.
Little known fact, that B word, one of my mom's favorite words on the planet when she was around. Loved it. those. Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Friday. Josh Allen might beat the Chiefs, but I tell you why it won't change my expectations for the Bills. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's been a nightmare for Chicago over the last month.
When we're talking about the worst franchises in all of sports, the Chicago Bears have got to be mentioned.
Now the green and gold head to the Windy City refreshed and ready for a playoff run. The rivalry week edition of Green Bay Game Day starts Sunday morning at 9. Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and on ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
Buenas noches, Chicago!
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Jordan Love used the team's bye week to heal up his knee and groin injuries. The Packers quarterback was a full participant during Wednesday's workout session. Head coach Matt LaFleur is hopeful that a full week of practice will be beneficial for Love going into Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears.
It'll be good to just get him some practice under his belt where he's fully healthy. That's the other thing, going back to last game, he didn't practice the full week. I'm just confident that a full week's worth of practice and then stacking those days will definitely be beneficial for him.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Howard gets the snap, sets up at the Purdue 27 to throw. Fires down on the right flat, caught by Smith, 15, racing to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. 17-yard TD pass from Will Howard. Jeremiah Smith into the end zone with his 9th receiving touchdown. 20-0 Ohio State.
That is the great Paul Keels from Learfield, the voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tell me that is not one of the great voices you've ever heard for a broadcaster. That is up there. Like, I would
Very smooth.
Oh, I would kill to have that voice. Unbelievable.
Really?
Absolutely. You know me. I get excited. I sound like a high-pitched individual, like I'm 10 years old again.
I don't know. Some guy just says he'd kill somebody, and then you give him a second chance. Like, maybe he doesn't mean that. So really, and you're like, yeah, of course. Who wouldn't? It's like, okay, you're doubling down on murder.
I would think that you would know by now that, my moral barometer is not exactly one that you would want your children to have. That's all.
Look, I'm just trying to improve my game, okay?
Look, I'm just trying to get mine, and whoever gets in the way that's their problem, not mine. That's Will Howard with a touchdown pass, and he is, of course, the quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and he joins us right now on Carlin versus Joe. Will, it's Chris Carlin and Joe Fortenbaugh on ESPN Radio. We appreciate a few minutes. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you gentlemen doing?
Not good. I'm going to jump in here. I'm a Penn State grad. It didn't have to go that way, Will. Didn't have to go that way. I mean, every now and again, we can let the Lions win one of these.
Oh, man, that's one thing, man. The Buckeyes don't lose the Nittany Lions. Believe me, I was a Penn State fan growing up, too, and I knew it. Now I'm just on the right side of it.
How good did it feel to walk into that stadium and do that?
It was awesome, and for it to happen the way that it did, it wasn't my best game, but for us to pull it out in the fourth and our defense to have that big stand and us to go, drive the ball down the field to, end the game with the ball in our hands, man, it was special. And after the game, just being able to celebrate with my family and with my teammates, it was unbelievable.
I'm always curious, how many text messages did you have after the game when you finally got to your phone?
My phone was blowing up, man. It was too many
Triple
to count,
digits?
but it took me about a week to go through them all and respond, but I got through it finally.
Will Howard is with us, the Ohio State quarterback. So how has this whole experience been for you this year since you've come over from Kansas State compared to what you thought it was going to be?
Man, it's been everything I could ask for, and then some. Man, it's I just feel like since being here, like my game has just changed so much, and the coaching that I've gotten, I've never gotten coached like this before. I've obviously never been around the amount of talent that we have here and the competitiveness every day at practice. It's just made me better, and the guys are amazing. The coaches are great. Like it feels like it's where I should be, and God put me in this place for a reason. I'm just so thankful and blessed to be a Buckeye.
How does it work for you guys in the locker room? Like we're like degenerate college football fans. We love it. So Tuesday nights when the playoff rankings come out, like we're just consuming it. We're texting each other. We get on radio the next day. We're breaking the whole thing down. Are you guys following this stuff closely as well?
Absolutely not.
How do you avoid that?
We do not. Stay off social media. I mean, I have class on Tuesday nights, so I'm pretty caught up. So I don't even focus on that. I mean, yeah, like we find out about it, but that stuff doesn't really matter to us. What matters is wins and losses and taking care of what we can control, which is winning on the field and being the best that we can be. So we're not. I mean, we don't worry about that stuff at all.
I hope I got to tell you something. When you eventually turn pro, I hope you don't have your eyes set on the Dallas Cowboys. Not how it works down there. Okay, not how it works down there at all. You got to be worried about all that stuff.
Oh yeah, believe me, I know. I grew up an Eagles fan, so I know.
Will Howard is with us, the Ohio State quarterback. Listen, there has been a ton of pressure on you guys throughout the course of the season. So, really since you were up in Oregon and had that tough loss. So give me a sense of how that has benefited this team week in and week out.
Yeah, I think pressure is a privilege, and, we feel that pressure every single year, here at Ohio State. It's, the expectation is winning championships, and if you don't do that, then, it's considered not a successful season, and it's, it's different than what I'm used to, but it's, it's a standard around here, and it's cool. It's cool to be a part of something that, where the expectations are so high, and, you don't feel the pressure if you're not, if you're not working hard and really, really want something, So, at the end of the day, we don't really feel that pressure when we go out there and play the games because we're prepared and we're out there and we believe that, we're the best team in the country. And, when we go out with that mentality, we're going to be hard to beat.
Obviously you're going to focus on Northwestern this week. That's the team in front of you. You're not going to get caught looking ahead. We understand that, but you probably every now and again come across information, whether you're looking or not, that, Indiana's in 2 weeks and they're putting together a 10-0 season. They'll be coming off a bye. How impressive have the Hoosiers been in your eyes so far this season?
Yeah, they're playing good football, man. They're a disciplined team. They're well coached. We'll look at that next week, but as of right now, I'm not worried about that.
Will Howard, the quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes, is with us. The offensive line has found its groove. You're dealing with some injuries here and there. Give me a sense of how comfortable you feel behind that group right now, especially with the improvement that we have seen.
And those guys are playing with a ton of confidence right now. And, I think that the performance that they put up at Penn State really helped them a lot in terms of their confidence. And, man, I'm just so happy for those guys and, all the shuffling around that they've had to do. And, they've stepped up. They've stepped up in a big way. And I'm excited to see what they do the rest of the year because I think they're the best unit in the country.
It's pretty awesome. This Northwestern game this weekend is going to be at Wrigley Field. I don't know if you've ever seen how they set that up for college football. It's a tight fixture, but the opportunity that you guys get to go out and play on one of the most historic baseball fields of all time for a football game, has that been lost at all this week? You guys thinking about that?
Oh yeah, that's a really for me, I think it's really cool. It's going to be, one of those experiences we're going to look back at and appreciate, in a bunch of years. And I've seen a game at Wrigley growing up, but I've never played a football game there, obviously. So I'm excited. It'll be a fun atmosphere, man. I think the Buckeyes are going to travel well. I have a feeling it'll probably be majority Buckeyes out there, man. And I'm excited. It's going to be a fun atmosphere, a fun game, and just being able to play in that stadium is pretty cool.
Will Howard is with us. All right, so you're a Downingtown, PA guy, Philly guy. Are you a 4-for-4 Philly fan? Is it all Philadelphia teams?
All four, man. Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, Eagles.
Where are you on the Sixers this year? What are they going to do?
I think you just summed it up.
We'll pretend one day you might be in this chair. You might be doing sports talk radio one day if you want. You got to come hot with it.
Yeah. It's frustrating year in and year out. I think with Embiid, man, we should be better than we are. Man, I want to say this is the year, but I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see as the year goes along. Hopefully Embiid can get healthy and shoot, man, we can get past the freaking second round of the playoffs. That'd be nice.
Honestly, this is everything Joe has been saying as a fellow Philly guy for the last 2 months.
It's exactly that, man. I don't care about winning a title. I'd love to just see a conference finals. Conference finals would be wonderful.
That's all I ask, man. That's all I ask. I was at when we played the Raptors, I was at Game 6. Sent it to 7. They went up to Toronto, and Kawhi hit that shot. I was like, oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding me. But, it's the life of a Philly fan, man.
Yep. We know it.
Well, and listen, hopefully it goes a little bit better for you the next few weeks than it has for the Sixers. We appreciate a few minutes.
Thank you, Will.
No doubt. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Will Howard, quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes, everything he just said about the Sixers, and you could just hear it in his voice immediately about how much pain there has been.
Did you notice how when you asked him about, hey, Indiana in 2 weeks, not focused on that, just trying to do the job. And it's okay, serious, good answer. And then it's hey, what was it like coming off that Oregon loss? Got to be resilient, got to be focused, got to work, got to get better. And it's this guy speaks like a CEO. This is exactly what you want to hear. Hey, you're a Philly fan. What do you think about the Sixers? And you can just listen as his soul dies. And he just starts shaking his head and suddenly questions everything he's ever known. As he's I don't know, man. We got to get him I don't know. I just like to get to the conference finals. Yeah, I'm a loser like you. I also aim for the Final Four. I don't care about winning a championship, God forbid. Just win a couple playoff series.
Just the way he said, "Can we get past the freaking second round?"
Yeah. This guy, that's as true a fan as you'll ever find right there.
Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80. Speaking of quarterbacks, there's a Hall of Fame quarterback who's looking to return next year. Problem is, Should his team even want him? That's after I tell you about this from our friends at Indeed. Now, look, you know it is the perfect time to gear up and connect quality candidates, and there's no better way to do that than through Indeed, the hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. Their interview tool helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Nix the hassle. Start hiring. Indeed.com/credit.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio. Sitting at 7-2, the Missouri Tigers head to Columbia to face the South Carolina Gamecocks, winners of 3 straight. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, with kickoff at 4:15 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the SEC Network. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento shredded cheese, 2 for $6. 45 ounce selected varieties Country Crock, $5.49. 12 ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, 2 for $4. 10 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates, bowls, or bags, 2 for $4.
And now time for the big reveal: free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Kyle Brust and Nortman.
For sure.
No,
Yeah,
Brad. No,
Kyle.
KBN.
If this is good Jordan Love, I'm officially concerned for the future of the team.
You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On-Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Tampa Bay Rays will play their home games in 2025 at the Yankee Spring Training Park in Tampa due to hurricane damage at Tropicana Field at about 11,000 seats. It is the largest of the spring training sites in Florida. The Eagles put their 5-game winning streak on the line in a pivotal NFC East matchup versus the Commanders tonight as Week 11 of the NFL season kicks off. Washington, which has won 3 of 4, is a half game back of division-leading Philadelphia. The NFL Scouting Combine will remain in Indianapolis at least through 2026 under an agreement announced today. 4-star quarterback pledge Tramel Jones pulled his commitment from Florida State. He's the 6th recruit to decommit from coach Mike Norvell's 1-9 Seminoles. He stands as one of the top uncommitted quarterbacks in the final weeks of the 2025 cycle. Jones's exit leaves FSU with 12 prospects left committed in 2025.
They were not prepared to play. We didn't execute even close to our standard, and that falls on my shoulders 100%.
Disappointing. Yeah, it's disappointing. Had some chances early on to make it stay close and just disappointing.
The Jets have just totally cashed out, it looks like. I still am shocked on a week-to-week basis of how bad the Jets look.
The season's been incredibly disappointing to everybody. Aaron, he doesn't look like he's having fun. It's not fun to lose. It's just not fun to be out there when seasons are going south like this.
If only someone could have seen this coming. If only. Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 80. Good news, though. Good news.
What do we got?
Aaron yesterday was asked about if he wants to play in 2025.
You talked about wanting to play beyond